let's do this. Let's take Rogi away, or maybe I'll just leave her up for the whole stream. Let's pop this guy off, and here we are. Here we are. Malcolm Rose, the brawler. The big brawler shot caller. We just had a grand old time last session, just smashing through the game. Trolls are strong in the general case in the early game, but we bypassed the usual awkward pain of a mid-game troll by simply getting handed the scales of the Dragon King, and then actually we even found a second +9 gold dragon scale. That was our Oka gift. And then Eos was the one we accepted as a weapon just for Aralek and Halo to turn off in Viz if needs be. So I think we're just gonna we're just gonna get marked as what's gonna happen. Oh boy, you hear a faint skittering sound, etc., etc. What a way to start the stream. If this is if this becomes too easy, by the way, we will I don't know. Maybe we'll, we're gonna heroism here. What is that? If this becomes too easy, we might actually go to, do extended. I no promises. I just want to make sure that the gentleman who paid for this run is getting his money's worth. So I might do some extended, but we'll see. We're getting some spicy action right now, actually. Binds the souls of its allies when slaying a line of the fight on after death as simulacra. Let's go up. Too easy, just go flux form. Hell no. Not so sure about these berserking redbacks. Kind of spooky, actually. Yeah, that's spooky. That's a lot of damage possible. On the other hand, with our AC, we're blocking some of that damage anyway. Gosh, what do I want to do? I think I want to just, like, take a step, actually. Weirdly enough, I don't mind tabbing into one of these dudes. Yeah, buddy. It's not so bad. Our defenses are actually quite good, so... Oh boy. Alright. Okay, I see what's up. Just whack myself with the ice blast, it's fine. The corrosion was potentially a problem. Of course, we bypass the minus slay if we're just using a wand, you know. Not so sure about that Tarantella. What do we got? 18 curing, it's probably fine. Let's just pull these dudes up, actually. Fight in the hallway. Hallway-ish. Yeah, if we get confused, it's no big deal. We'll just start sucking down curing. Should be able to O-tab this to some degree. Gotta be careful though, there's those things with the AF para. I don't think they show up until Spider 4, but maybe they could show up anytime, I don't know. This guy wants Amulet of Reflection. Every guy wants Amulet of Reflection. What are you saying? That's the best baseline base amulet in the game. But yes, I agree, that would be nice. That would be nice to have. Leaving line of sight of the torpor snail as much as is possible. If we just straight up miss this guy enough times, we could be in trouble. Why don't we, wait, 37%? That's no good. Why don't we heroism real quick? Should have done that sooner, probably. I'm gonna try to swing. I guess we could, you know what? I'll pop on EOS, it's fine. And then we'll throw rocks at this dude. Okay, if we just hit him with one boomerang, it'll be faster to throw, for one thing. And it'll definitely kill him if it does any damage at all, so... Well, maybe not. Fine, I'll drink a heal wounds. It's getting a bit spicy. Here we go. Okay, minor use of consumables there. Probably not terribly necessary, but... I don't really want to be irradiated. I don't think it I think we determined it does not instantly... Yeah, it doesn't instantly... what do you call it? It doesn't instantly give you a mutation, but I'm sure that it does a lot of damage. These rad roaches. And I'm sure that it probably makes me glow, so let's try to take him down before he has a chance to do that. 1.4 speed on the javelins. We really need some more throwing, don't we? I should just be swinging with my damn claws at this point, but yeah, when there's just the one, we'll just swing. Well, we got lucky and he didn't bother to irradiate at all. I mean, Contam would have added up and given us mutations, which we certainly don't want, so... Yo! Do I need to worry about this? Broodmother just summon spiders? Not really. Maybe I do! Broodmother bites you. What's big boy damage? 40 max damage. Alright. We'll heroism. I did not think that broodmothers were particularly spooky. Hiding chat? What's going on? Chat seems fine to me. Scrolls of Enchant Weapon, which this character does not care about. What is that? Maybe zoomed into my screen, fair enough. Steel Barb Worm. Okay, yeah, he has AF Barb. Alright. Hey, yo, come on, man. Yeah, they really have just, like, quadrupled down on the whole concept of messing with the player's movement. Hey, there's our torpor snail, okay. Can we have a nice polite melee now? Yeah, we can. Too bad we didn't block that. Oh yeah, we have Rings of Evasion for sale. Something we might want to grab sooner than later. Hard to say no to Rings of Evasion when you've got gold dragon armor on, you know? Your resistances are more or less covered. Oh yeah, the Radroach won't use Irradiate when it's next to allies, actually, now that I think about it. So it creates kind of an interesting tactical situation where you're more inclined to take out the allies, or excuse me, take out the Radroach first. All these misses, man. There we go. I'm actually using more piety than I would like, and I know that heroism is pretty cheap in terms of piety, but I like to, well, my old strategy was to use as little piety on Oka as possible because that would make you get more gifts, but now that you don't get gifts all the time, yeah, we have outrageous AC. It's just what happens basically when you find gold dragon scales. I mean, 8 of that AC is from 2 rings of protection though, and we'll be losing that if we swap to evasion, which I do think is the move. Do we even have... Yeah, we have our poise. I was going to say, I'm taking a lot of poison damage, surprisingly, for somebody with our poise, but it, you know, it does happen. Yo, I've been yanked. That was interesting. I was yanked right next to the ghost moth. EV ring is huge, although, I mean, I don't know. Like with the +4 AC rings, I am kind of okay with just being Mr. AC, man. I think the moment when I'm really going to want to start pumping EV instead of just AC is going to be if I decide to go into Elf. Which, I mean, I will decide to go into Elf. I just don't know if I'm going to do it sooner than later, you know. But like at that point, my AC is going to be doing less for me than being able to jump out of the way of crystal spears and whatnot. All right, this is the guy with AF Para, and we're slowed right now as well, so we should probably take this really seriously. You're not RF, are you? No, you're not. Yep, he went right to the front. This is no good. How would we do if we got paralyzed here, I wonder? Pharaoh Ant hits for 43. That's enough to make this a bad situation. So we're going to go ahead and read Telly. Just as, you know, a precaution. So if I got paralyzed, I would go somewhere else afterwards. Hate to waste a Telly, but because those you can run through those really fast if you end up in a bad situation. So it's best to not use them if you don't have to. But that was the smallest resource that I felt comfortable using to prevent bad things from happening. Technically, I probably should have blinked. It is a stake game. Wait, you said streak. I'm the one that's typoing in my brain, apparently. I thought you said stake game, and I was trying to dab on you a bit, but nope. I just can't read. Stake game, delicious. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what's even luckier is we actually found another one. This was our god gift from Oka. You only get 1 god gift from Oka now. Well, 1 weapon, one armor, so I guess 2 technically. But yeah, no, it's some pretty good streamer luck, I have to admit. Wow, this is that was the tankiest the tankiest ghost moth in the world. Oh yeah, the gloves of the fencer or whatever, fencer's gloves. Those are good. You know what? How about we, you know, fight in a kill hole? Why don't we heroism as well if we're gonna be in such a spot? Well, it's a branch end. What are you going to do? Wait a minute. I have int damage and dex damage. How's that happening? What in here has been given stat drain? What's going on? Why am I not aware of that? It's not the Broodmother. It's not the Joragumo that I fought, right? The orb spiders, it's them moving fast, and it's them weaving a orb of destruction. It's one of the two. No, it's not them moving fast. They don't have a haste. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's probably them charging up the orb of destruction. Oh yeah, you're right. The moths, I don't know why I forgot that ghost moths do, stat damage. Yep, you're right. I better keep an eye on that. In fact, once we hit level, well, that's odd. Shouldn't we have gotten a, we just got to level 18. Shouldn't we have gotten a pick from that? I thought it was every 3 levels. Maybe it's 4 for trolls. Anyway, we need to get some int. Something strange. Like everything, my unarmed damage is currently 44. That is my damage rating. Okay, we're not heroismed, but it should be okay. Actually, offense is what we want right now more than anything. Yo, that was... could have been bad. Alright, buddy. How much damage does that even do? 3d23. Okay. And he can just spam that shit if he wants to. I do not like the new shapeshift stuff. I think that it was a lot more interesting when I think it was a lot more interesting. Hold on. Yeah. I think it was just a lot more interesting to have synergies, you know, where you could build a character and you're working towards certain things as a caster, but then, you know, you also at the same time are working towards stat form. Like, you could play kind of a quasi-stabber with Petrify for half the game and then move into stat form and, you know, get like Mendeley on a dagger, which is no big deal. I mean, I don't know. It really does feel bad to commit to a single form forever as well. Not being able to swap quickly between forms does not feel good. It feels very bad, in fact. I almost want to finesse. But I think I'm just going to try to swing for a minute. This damn melee is, it's a problem. I want to throw javelins, perhaps, to take it out. We're looking at 30 and then 10 each, so 50 damage possible, plus the 17 from the melee. We're throwing at 1.0 speed. I can't die here, but I might want to, like, suck down a heal wounds if things get much worse. Just carefully aim through everything so the javelin hits everybody. Nice. Melee Eye's dead. Technically, I can still take some damage here. I mean, Emperor Scorpions are pretty solid. I also need to be somewhat careful about this Broodmother Simulacrum. I mean, it hits fast. Wait, is this fast? It should be fast. Could have sworn that Simulacrums were fast, but it doesn't say so. That's weird. Well, anyway. 32 plus 36 cold damage, divide by 2 on the cold. It can't kill me in one hit, but still something to be wary of. You know, Simulacrums are hardcore if you don't have RC. We do, but... Alright, Scarf of Invis. We will not be using that today. Thank you for the rune. For the resistances, is it 0, 50, 75, 90, something like that. I've only ever really bothered to memorize the first one because that's the one that's truly important, because it turns out that halving the damage is good enough. Or at least it's pretty good. I mean, granted, for certain things, like Orbs of Fire, you'd really like to have 2 or 3, but that is our current only source of our core. Yeah, that's correct. Which is unfortunate if we want to do slime, because we also need magic resist for slime. In fact, I want magic resist more than I want our core for slime. So, whoa! Hold the fucking phone! I did not mean to be tabbing like this. Telly out of this shit, man. Okay, we're gonna drink a curing to get that confuse off. Drink another curing to get that confuse off. There's the telly. Should I Jinx 65? Is he still around screwing up the game? Yeah, we did. Oh, wait, you're right, we found experience. Sick. That's rare. Throw it all into fighting. We're stopping, we actually have, oh, wait, do we? Yeah, we do. We have skill targets set up for 15 for fighting, 20 for UC, and at that point we'll probably pivot into defenses again. If I get paralyzed, you do... Oh man, technically he could just like... We gotta put on the positive energy so that a paralyzed doesn't straight up just kill us. Yeah, throwing is also something we would want. What I was planning on doing was I will make the decision once I have that offense together. But you're 100% right. I mean, I'll tell you, I actually would like to take throwing to 15, but we're running up against, you know, big boy experience costs if we start going too nuts with this. It's really good, and it's actually really important because there's certain things we still can't really melee too easily. Lightning Spire, Stone Arrow, really good defenses. I have heard that there are blunderbusses in the game, but I think that's in Trunk, maybe? Oh no, hand cannon, okay. Is this a unique hand cannon? But yeah, I don't think Mr. Troll is going to be going to be using any hand cannons today. Oh, we found Storm Talisman. I didn't even realize that. Stormform Troll, anybody? That it takes away your body armor, doesn't it? It's meant to be... Oh, hold on. 46... Storm Fists. Nope, you don't get to keep your claws in this form. No, you don't. I look funny, I guess. Yeah, you don't get to keep your claws, and you do not get to keep your body armor, so that's going to be a no from me. That makes me really nervous being that low on HP, even though I know nothing is around. Yeah, I know. Like, oh, let's just go 20 HP real fast. Ooh, what a great time. Can we just go ahead and do Elf? I think we can. If you don't have enough skill in shapeshifting, then yeah. Sorry about the screen flashes. I have those turned on for these damn air elementals because they're just so stupid that they can just paralyze you regardless of anything. So I set my screen to flash every single time it sees the word air elemental. Alright, Zephyrmancer. Guess I'll keep my EOS on. We should be okay, though, for me to just throw rocks. There we go. Pull this stuff up one by one. The R-Elect, like, reduces the chance that you'll get paralyzed, but it doesn't, there's nothing you can do to prevent it entirely, so it's a big problem, basically. I would like to have, I would truly like to have R-Elect all the time for this damn branch, but it's not the end of the world not to have it. We do have EOS to swap into it, you know. He just lightninged himself. You know what? I'm gonna go up. Did he not? I guess he didn't come with me. Okay. We'll just fight him while invisible. I could swap on EOS if I wanted to, but I guess I'm tempted to wear my Synv ring instead. I could always swap into it for things like this. Book of Chaos. Removing Book of Chaos. Hey, we have disjunction now. That's what we call a wishful thinking shopping list ad. Because, you know, obviously I'm probably... Whoa, 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 hold the phone. Okie doke. That is an Elf 1 demonologist. You really went ham too. Like his first two moves are like let's just call it an executioner and a shadow fiend. Interestingly, we can melee executioners on this character without heroism because we're just a big baller shot caller, and it's not actually gonna you know, the shadow fiend looks terrifying, but I don't think it will do torment. I am playing pretty fast. Well, you see, I'm so sick of mainline that yeah, we absolutely need to take throwing to 15, man. For the time being, why don't we Quicksilver through this? Whoa, what's behind me? Who knows? Probably switching to EOS. Yeah, it's one of those dudes. It is game number 70. Oh my god. It just doesn't want to... The Quicksilver just does not want to hit the damn demonologist. The damn dirty demonologist. Let's heroism real quick. Again, the Shadow Fiend... well, I mean, it's scary because he could just start Bolt of Draining me, so we probably should pop on Positive Energy, I guess. But he is not going to torment me because he's got too many allies around that we get nuked by that. So this looks bad, but it's actually not that bad. Well, I have heroism up now, so we can throw javelins instead of using the Quicksilver, because it's faster. We're attacking at speed 1 with it the way we would with a Quicksilver. Come on, man. This is the tankiest demonologist ever. There we go. Too kind and caring of their friends. I mean, it is really useful to know the rules. If you understand like when enemies will do certain actions, you can manipulate the situation really well. And this matters the most in Extended, actually. It's the Torment and the Hellfire rules. Well, they call it Damnation these days, I guess, but I call it Hellfire. I never liked that name change. What is this? A hand axe of venom? What am I even taking the damage from? Oh, I'm attacking with Eos. I didn't mean to do that. My God. No, Shadow Fiend is always like that. Every enemy is like that. It doesn't want to use things that will do lots of damage to allies, and there's a certain point where it will stop caring. Like if it's a low HD, if it's a low hit dice ally, then it won't care. It'll just go. But for most things, it'll be pretty polite. Wow, there are a ton of these dudes. So I drank a heal wounds because there was a chance that, you know, he could blink, and then I wanted him to not be able to LCS me to death in one hit, basically. All right, let's see. We've got positive energy on. We've got 156 HP, so we're just going to melee now. 151 HP. We do have silence, right? Yeah, we have 5 silences. Yeah, lightning could bounce and do 120, but that's not any more than the Crystal Spear, which would do 90, 94, 98, 102. Well, okay, I guess it is more than the Crystal Spear, but it's not more than my HP. What's going to happen here, and I don't even think lightning would bounce on me here. I think it would bounce off and maybe go that way. Maybe not. Anyway, it is, but I don't remember if GDR applies or not. I mean, AC applies to basically everything, including Lightning Bolt, does it not? So, anyway, my point is that if we do take big boy damage from this dude, we can't die in one hit. There we go. The big thing is that shield will block LCS, like my shield blocked his poison arrow. But anyway, if we had taken big boy damage, it definitely wouldn't have killed us, and we have what I call an out. By the way, I should not have been... Did I have Eos on again when I was swinging? I've really got to pay attention to that. That is really bad. Anyway, yeah, you just silence. You just use silence as an out, and then nothing bad happens to you. This Eos thing, man, I hate hot swapping weapons. As a means of getting see invisible. Like, I'll do it if I have to, you know, but it always leads to situations where you forget, you leave it on, and especially if you're attacking slowly with that weapon, very bad things can result. Like, that was actually a small but serious risk of death situation if I was swinging on the Annihilator with that. Let us put our protection back on. Nothing here that we want. That's just a Deep Elf Knight. We can take him. God, you know what? I might just put See Invisible on. Just for convenience. It's still Elf 1. For a second I thought I was on Elf 2, and it's like, okay, the Hall of Blades is nearby, but no, this is just a very big Elf 1. Lots of, oh, it's incredibly packed. Well, we've gone up against, like, way more, tier 3 or max tier elves than we normally would. Did they combine all the floors? Not that I know of, although I think that would actually be a good idea. Just throw the player directly into the branch end. I'm okay with that. Whoa, that's a lot of priests that are able to bypass my defenses and just straight up do lots of damage to me. So why don't we do the smart thing? And they're here on a diplomatic mission. They have diplomatic immunity. Have I ever done an Orc God run? Yeah, on the streak, actually. Probably any Hill Orc that I played on the streak was, and I don't think there were very many, but I probably went Biog at least once just for the memes. I haven't played it since the revamp, though. They removed Hill Orcs. And then they made it so anybody can become an orc, I guess. I don't know how much sense that makes, but... Biog before the revamp is really fun and cool and a bit janky. It's super duper fun getting a bunch of allies and gifting them equipment. At the end of the game, you end up in this situation where you really don't want to have them following you around all the time. It is tedious, yeah. There's no question about that. But if you enjoy that, then it's cool. But, you know, people instead of... What you really should be doing instead of dragging the army around all the time is what you use it as like an emergency button where, like, alright, I'm summoning my guys to me, because you can keep them off the floor that you're on, and then you can summon them to you from anywhere, right? So... Okay, paralyzing air elemental next to a disto weapon. It's very cool. I used heroism to deal with that, and... Oh my god, okay. It's very cool. I love being paralyzed every single turn. It's actually awesome. I don't know how it is that my Quicksilver wand got quivered, but... We're gonna go up. Can Disto even send you to the Abyss anymore? That's a question, right? Surely it can. Can you even... Hold on. There is a weapon of Disto here. I'll just... is there a way for me to describe view? Blink, banish, or inflict. Yeah, it can. Yeah, we might be going to the Abyss soon. Never mind. He went down. I hate air elementals. Really dumb. So I'm playing it on the computers at school. Report that man. Yeah, DCSS has been around for a very long time. And like all open source projects, it eventually gets taken over by weird narcissists. Had a decent run, an unequipped a Disto weapon and got ported. Yeah, don't do that. Don't take off Disto unless you can survive the Abyss. Just found a book that we don't need. Can we just O-tab? Why are you pink? Wand of Quicksilver. Well, let's just relieve you of that, my friend. Get a brand weapon. Yeah, that's another option if you're early enough that you can't survive the abyss, but you would like to unequip your weapon. I mean, the thing is, Disto is really powerful, so I do think if it spawns on a viable weapon and you're on like D1 through D5, probably you should use it, and then you should just have like a quasi miserable mid game if you're stuck with it on. Yeah, purple is the purple background is new, but you still have to check and see, you know, you still have to like XV it and see like what the actual risk is, you know, what the item is. I was wondering if he had another Disto weapon, but turns out it was merely a Quicksilver wand. What are you? Vampiric? Stasis is too fun for mainline. Dude, I realize he's invisible, but how the fuck am I missing so much? There we go. You know what? Let's heroism. Ooh, big boy damage. You know what? Let's burn a telly. And let's not waste our consumables so much. It was just, you know, dancing weapons they just high roll sometimes, basically. I think I may have gotten icicled as well. Also, the quick blade was probably attacking me faster than most things, and therefore I was probably, and I could run through the log to see, I was probably taking more attacks than I otherwise would have, and that was cutting down the number of blocks I was allowed to have with my shield. So more damage was getting through than otherwise normally would. Shields are really powerful in DCSS, and it becomes really apparent once you understand how the mechanic actually works. You know, it works better the less attacks you're taking per round. 24 AC Gargoyle, 2-shot with 160 HP by the Minotaur Lair. What enemy was it? Was it the actual Minotaur? He must have had a big boy weapon then, I bet. Something to cut through your GDR. Or maybe he just high rolled. I don't know, Minotaurs are no joke because their base damage, if you look it up, is 35. So then you add that to whatever weapon they've got. So if they've got like for example, a Great Mace, now you're looking at 55 damage. No, that's fine. Like that makes perfect sense because a Bardich, if you look at the base damage, that's 18. So you add their base damage to the weapon damage. So you're looking at 45, 53, right? 50. Am I doing the math right? 53 damage per turn. I don't think you could get 2-shot by that, but on the other hand, he's got a second attack as well. Well, that's not subject to weapon damage, but he's got the gore or whatever. Yeah, 20 damage on that, which would get blocked by your AC to some degree. But I bet you something else was going on there that you may have missed, because 160. If you were truly max HP, 160. You still shouldn't have been able to lose in 2 shots there. So was he hasted or something? Was he mited? Did he suck down a might potion? You were hasted. Well, then that's even less likely that... Yeah, might will add some damage real fast on things like that because it's multiplicative, you know. Is there a way to look? Yes. There's 2 ways, and I'm going to point it out. I'm sure I'll run into another... Hold on, let me... Okay, so this dude, right? You'll notice he has a little symbol on the top right. That means he's repelling missiles, but you don't have to memorize that. If you just see something wacky at the top right, or you just want to check manually for whatever reason, just press X to go into I'm going to call it observe mode, and then move the cursor over to whatever you want to check, and if you hover over it, it'll say a deep elf elementalist wielding a +1 dagger of venom, parentheses, and then whatever crap he's affected by, including haste. If you press V, that stuff won't show up. This is just like the generic character page, but yeah, no, that is crucial. You know what? This should tell me my current attack speed on this page. One wonders why it doesn't. Should have opted for Formicid Wander. I was just going with the flow, whatever he asked for, basically. He was under the impression, I think that particular player has been having, he had mentioned he's been having a lot of trouble with melee characters ever since the attack of opportunity change. And so, well, I don't know if I'd agree to play a Delver. Delvers are some bullshit, man. But, I mean, let's see, at some point you're no longer making the game harder, you're just adding RNG to it, which I suppose technically in a sense is making the game harder. Let's do heroism here. This is looking a little bit sketch. This guy's hasted, by the way. That's the haste symbol there, that little yellow arrow, or excuse me, that little cyan arrow atop his he's got a yellow robe on, but the little yellow I guess greater than symbol. Why do I keep saying yellow? The blue cyan greater than symbol. It's like he's just such a yellow sprite that it's overpowering my brain. That Delver game I did tops the chart for ball clinching gameplay. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying though. It's just RNG at that point, you know. Not a fan. Fuck this. Let's finesse. Okay, big boy damage possible now. There we go. He's dead. He's dead. Do we have digging? Because I just realized we're like right at the end vault. We don't have digging. Okay. Sure. I guess we'll just fight like this. Finesse is gone, but I think I'm okay. I've got silence to bail me out if things go really badly. Let's pop on that See Invisible. Yeah, they took away the Earth Elemental thing, which is significantly less annoying now, I guess. Perhaps less soulful. I think they made that change after hardcore nerfing the amount of digging that shows up in the game. So it's like harder to even get a kill hole going in this branch. Bruh, we fighting, bruh. Oh, did you guys hear that Biden dropped out? One wonders who's actually running the country, and who has been running the country for the last 4 years. I can't imagine... I can't imagine that it was Biden making a lot of those decisions, you know what I mean? Isn't it kind of weird that that some shadowy figures are making the important decisions on a national level for the country you live in, but you don't actually get to know who those people are? I mean, it's probably people like Victoria Nuland, you know, but you know, and anybody in the State Department or whatever, but it's still just a little I don't know. It's almost like this whole thing is a fucking shell game, you know? Well, I mean, I can't imagine that Kamala is very well liked. She's got the charisma of a rotten potato, you know. That's not going anywhere, you know. Alright, there's a Tormentor. What's Heroism? God, that Executioner could do some dirty business to me. Can you actually defeat me right now? 30 damage, 10 damage, hasted. I'm gonna drink a heal wounds. I'm gonna drink another heal wounds. It's not gonna torment me. It's got too many. Well, I mean, yeah, Jink. Pretty much. I mean, what I'm curious about is what's going to happen is, like, technically by law in several states, you straight up cannot change the candidate out at this point. So, I mean, are they just going to change the rules? How do you do that? I mean, do the rules just not matter, or? I mean, of course, people can still vote for whoever they want. It's called writing in, but run, but then promise to resign. That's an interesting possibility. That's the only way that, as far as I know, that you could legally make it happen, I guess, you know, while remaining on the ballot. In several of those states, if I'm understanding the way those laws work. Did not remember correctly. You had 72 HP with 23 AC and 13 EV. See, that makes a lot more sense because Gargoyle HP is typically really crap. What was your fighting skill, out of curiosity? I always train a ton of fighting on Gargoyles because of that HP problem. And yeah, Gridgem, I saw that rally. It was incredible. That's, I don't know, man. I'm living in clown world. So I feel like things should be as over the top as possible. So I basically want my political rallies, I unironically want my political rallies to look exactly like Idiocracy. Like, I want my candidate to look like the dude in the movie who, like, pulled out an AK and shot it into the air to make everybody quiet down and listen to him. And that's what bringing Hulk Hogan to a rally is. It's the equivalent of that. It's what plants crave. I swapped to positive energy, by the way, because there's a lot of Drain Bolt guys around here. What are you holding? Is that the... I thought that was the Glaive of the Guardian or whatever. Step back. Level 7 fighting. Yeah, it looks like maybe you overtrained polearms a bit. Is that... Did you do 14 polearms? I'm guessing the rest of that is cross-training. Plus 10 halberd. Hey, that's pretty good, though. Yeah, man. Plus 10 halberd with drain. I probably would have done the same thing. I think I probably would have just trained it to the point that I had 1 speed, though, and then focused on defense. You probably wanted Mendeley. Don't get too obsessed with Mendeley. This is a classic trap to fall into. Mendeley is important in the long run. You absolutely should get Mendeley, but the most important thing is if you look at here, can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can. If you look at this little number in the parentheses, the 1.0 is what it is right now. That is how much time your previous action took. So if I swing, you'll notice that I'm attacking at 0.8 or 0.9. It varies because I'm at an odd number. There's a Ring of Evasion, so I can delete the longsword Zupen. Okay, let's drop the Ring of Protection. Let's pick up the Ring of Evasion. Alright, 31 AC, 17 EV. Ooh, and a Ring of, forget that. We're wearing the Ring of Magic Resist, baby. Well, not right now. Hold on. Evasion for this particular fight. I swear to God, I'm not going to do that much hot swapping, even though it's probably optimal to do so. I cannot bring myself to hot swap to that extent. Artifact robe, probably not Probably not any good. It is kind of funny to wear an artifact. Well, oh my god, that's ruined too. I was gonna say it was always fun to wear an artifact robe that had Archmage on it, or Archmage if you prefer, and then shift into statue form and get the Archmage ability out of it, you know, for extra spell power. But that, I guess that doesn't matter anymore. You can't do that fun little trick. I can't imagine that Archmage or Archmage affects the. I'm gonna say it both ways so I annoy everybody. I can't imagine that that affects talismans. What a shame. Anyway, we're gonna keep the Ring of Magic Resist on all the time. Ring of Slaying. You believe both pronunciations are correct. I think that Archmage sounds better, personally. Oh, it's Gadriel again. Yo, did we just find, we found a manual of stealth. I don't think we're going to actually be training any stealth, but it is tempting, I guess. What the hell is that? Oh, is that? That's another Storm Talisman. Get 1.0 speed for your weapon and then try to focus on fighting armor shielding as a Garg. In the general case, yes. Now, I hesitate to say things like, oh, always do this. Because there's going to be exceptions. Every game is different. It depends on what you found. It depends on certain details. But in the general case, yeah, I would say that's a pretty good plan. I would say that if I had to describe my rule of thumb for training, it's think about things in terms of offense and think about things in terms of defense. Do you have enough offense to reasonably quickly defeat the threats that are currently the ones that you're facing at this stage of the game? If the answer is yes, you probably should be focusing on defense. Now, defense, does that mean training armor? Does it mean training dodging? Does it mean training more fighting, which can also double as kind of a little bit of an offensive skill? That depends, again, on the character and the situation that you're in. Yeah, you fell for the meme. The thing is, like, with a plus 10 polearm, getting to 1.0 speed, you'll get through the mid game with that, man. Like you don't need the min delay. Like you're gonna have more problems with defense at that point, because trust me, like plus 10 halberd attacking at 1.0 speed, other than like a Hydra, there's very little that's gonna stand in your way for very long, you know. So you know, you know what? I'm dropping boomerangs. No more boomerangs. No more boomerangs. Let's not pick up boomerangs ever again. Let's quiver our large rocks. No problem. No, please feel free to ask any questions. Goodbye, Boomer. Please feel free to ask anything during these streams. It is no problem. I actually really enjoy helping people out. I used to do coaching streams where I would bring people on stream and just kind of watch them play and then speak up if they started doing some really egregiously bad things. Yep, that is what DCSS does to you. That will happen. You know what? Okay. 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 Let me think about this. The Balrog I don't care about too much. He's just fire. You know, he just does fire stuff to me. A little bit of smiting, whatever. I'm more concerned about the Hellion, which can do 45 damage to me per turn. Yeah, Balrog. The DCSS devs despise Tolkien for some reason. And also, they don't want to get sued, perhaps. I don't know, the what is it? The D&D Balor or whatever is essentially just a Balrog. So I think there's a long and storied history of ripping off Tolkien and barely changing the name of the Balrog. Did you guys know that Gandalf and Saruman are basically the same thing as a Balrog in terms of like class of being. They're all like angels, basically. Got to read that Silmarillion to find that out. Anyway, Ultima has the Balron. That's hilarious. I'm gonna read Telly. Whoa! Okay, that's what I was afraid of. Why was he willing to do the torment? That's really strange. That's really strange. Let's obviously blink away from all this crap. That is bizarre, though. We're gonna drink a couple heal wounds in case we get tellied into all that crap again. That's all he knows how to do, sure, but I thought I may be misunderstanding what the rule is. I think it may do, these days it may do like a calculation of how much hit dice of allies will be affected by this thing I'm doing, and how much hit dice of allies won't. And there was maybe a critical mass of demons. You know who I need in this chat right now? I need Doesn't he? He would know. At least he would know the old way. I'm guessing he hasn't been keeping up on any changes that have been done to it. But no, I thought for sure. Hey, that's a manual throwing. Does it penetrate resistances? Well, Hellfire, aka Damnation, doesn't get affected by any resistance. Torment gets reduced a little bit if you have resist negative, which we didn't have on. But I didn't expect him to torment at all because there was a lot of living crap around. So I'm a little confused on how that even happened. Also, Tormentors have pain, don't they? Oh, I guess they don't. They can melee. They have a melee attack. Yeah, that's an important thing to learn, though, what the rule actually is. It's possible. You know what? You know what it is? It's possible that I think it might be that the Deep Elf mages and even the higher level wizards like demonologists and stuff, they might not have enough hit dice. They actually might not have enough hit dice to justify not tormenting. And the reason we weren't getting tormented before was because there was like a Blade Master around, which I want to say has more hit dice. Feel free to double check me on that. Anybody who has got access to a bot. I don't have sadly, Floraline no longer is running Kelby, so I'm on a server where I, of course, don't have access to Beam because I'm a very bad man. I said bad things about Gamafunk once, and now I'm banned from the Infobot forever. It's not petty at all. All right. I mean, I could just do it in Discord or whatever, but do you think they would consider other summons? I'd have to check the code, but I think so. I don't think it makes a distinction against that. If you forced me to answer that question, I would say I don't think so. Yeah. Well. What other summons are you referring to? Because any other demons would be immune to torment, so that wouldn't matter. I wouldn't consider those as being a problem. All demons and undead are immune to torment. Okay, you just have the wiki open in another tab. That's a bold move, my friend, assuming the wiki is correct. I mean, the wiki is actually pretty accurate these days, but... Alright, anyway, we found an Arcor ring, actually, just now. I should probably search L3 and make sure that I'm not missing anything here. No, nothing that I care about. Okay, 2 runes. We have a little bit more magic resist now, which is nice. Two pips, actually, from the ring and from our scales. Goldeneye, 1%. I think if we level up 2 or 3 more times, we'll be able to take that to 0. Why don't we do vaults 1 through 4 and just kind of see what happens from that point, yeah. Slimes on D13 that I never dealt with. Interesting. What's the rune goal? Well, typically I only do 4 or 5. But because we've had such an easy early game, I'm sort of tempted to do extended on this one. Like do the full 15, just to make this thing. Well, essentially I, you know, the dude who shelled out money for this, I want to make sure he's getting his money's worth, so. I'm actually not sure if he cares or not, whether it's 15 runes, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Probably it'll depend on how confident I am with the character. It's going to be kind of weird with Neo Oka doing extended under those circumstances. But if we find Lich form and we can actually get it online, yeah, it's some real Robin Hood hat action there. I typically go vaults before depths for XP, yes. I do not like dipping into depths if I can avoid it. Depths just has a lot of incredibly nasty things, and especially nasty vaults that can spawn. What is this? Sheltered from... Okay, that's the sheltered thing now. Whoops. Bruh, stop merging. They're fine as long as they aren't merged. On this character, anyway. Yeah, like, vaults can have some pretty nasty things spawn, don't get me wrong. It's just that... Can you paralyze me? 1%. It's vitrify, not paralyze. I'll take it. It's fine. I'm going to use ammo here. There's just a lot of crap. I do not want to use more heal wounds. I'm really tempted to just berserk. Why don't we heroism? How about that? Okay, good. All that crap is gone. Taking a lot of fire damage from my own explosions here. That was a bit sketchy, but it's okay. Oh, hey! Saint Roka. Y'all busters ain't ballin'. I think technically I could still be paralyzed by an Orc Sorcerer. Maybe not. Nah, 0%. Although that will lie to you. Sometimes 0% actually means like 0.5%. Vaults 1 sponsored by Biog. Yeah. You know what I hope? I hope we find a Wiz Lab. I'm feeling like doing one of the fun Wiz Labs like Fleshworks. Or Moonbase would be, well, less fun than Fleshworks, but it would be more soulful than Fleshworks. Fleshworks would give me the most fun rewards. Moonbase is what you always want to find on a troll, though, if you haven't found other armor. Let's get intelligence. Block that stat 0. Actually using the moon troll armor is a ton of fun. Salt. Well, Salt's not a Wiz Lab. You can get a Wiz Lab and Salt in the same game. Salt's kind of a weird, it's like the king of the normal portal vaults. Zenata. Oh, Zenata. New. I've run into her before. She summons weapons, and then she uses Resonant Strike when they're next to you to do damage to you. She also has Abjuration, but that's everybody with summons. You know what? Let's Heroism. At the beginning of the fight. How about that? Oh no! The Convoker summoned Saint Roka. Ah! Alright, fine. It's fine, I'm just gonna MO these dudes. Is that a disto? That is a halberd disto. Man, Saint Roka is not screwing around today. I mean, he's mited, so I would go to the Abyss. I'm fine with that. Hit for 75, base 50. Yeah, he's not fucking around. Why don't we take a step away so we're not in the flames, you know? Have I used Duel yet? I have not. Frankly, I feel like you know what I think about Duel? I think that it should use the exact same amount of piety as, and I'm sure this isn't how it works, but I think it should use the same amount of piety as Kazlao's ultimate. And I think it should heal you to 100% as you go in. It should be like a really cool, you know, escape type thing. Javelin the orc in the back so they can't mite. Well, it's too late now. They're already mited, so it's better if I just take down my boy Roka here. If I could just actually roll, it'd be pretty good. I'm almost tempted to telly, frankly, but we're gonna try to ride this out. He can't kill me in one hit, you know. Also, he's not mited anymore. There we go. Boom, he's gone. These are those damn summoned. Let's go into the hallway. Oh shit! You know what? We are gonna read telly. This is stupid. This is getting really risky. So we're gonna drink heal wounds. We're gonna drink heal wounds again. We're spamming at this point. Uh-oh. I got blinked. It's looking bad. No, that wasn't the telly. That was a blink. Suck down another heal wounds. What the fuck is happening? Why is my telly not kicking in? I'm baffled. It's been 4 turns, hasn't it? I didn't get, like, untellied and retellied by the disto. No, disto doesn't disrupt. I mean, technically it can, but... I don't even know if it can teleport you anymore, actually. Hold on, let me count these turns and make sure I'm not having a stroke here, because something may have changed. Read telly, okay, so there's turn 0. Drink potion 1, drink potion 2, drink potion 3. I think I'm guaranteed to do it this turn, but just for safety, we're gonna drink a heal wounds. There we go. I burned through so many heal wounds there, really, really bad. That was not a good use of resources. That was actually quite bad. All right, time to teach Zenata a lesson here. Heroism finesse. It was pretty lame that she summoned a disto weapon, frankly. but that'll happen. Yeah, no. That is, it's 100% my fault. I cannot blame the game for that one. I stuck around to fight uniques. I should have just read Telly at the start, probably. Re-engaged one at a time. Lured one to a staircase, you know, whatever. I was not playing safe, basically. The Isle St. Roca's not a fight win, okay. Yeah, I mean that's like a hardcore. That's a hardcore fight right there, you know. As much as I feel like I can just O-tab everything on this character, you know, there is a line. You know, I just had an idea. What if there was a skill where training it gave you magic resistance? What do you guys think about that idea? It'd be a radical change to DCSS. But I think it would also be interesting because it would give the player the ability to like choose when they're getting themselves some more MR, you know? Almost sounds, well, it would be mandatory to train, especially if you removed it as an item. It hurts, but you feel a little tougher. And yeah, duel probably would have been a good move there. I need to get more invocations, though. In fact, why don't we take invocations to 10? Right now, I think we have a 54% chance of failure on duel. Trying to take down this this corruptor. There we go. Did we just get a giant pile of cancellation? I'll check once I'm done with the floor. Certainly we got at least one. I thought for sure I saw cancellation. Am I blind? Wait, no, there it is, 7. Yeah, we have 7 cancellations. It's pretty sick. I sure wish we had more than 2 heal wounds there. That feels quite bad. That feels very bad to not have that. Okay, if I step out of his line of sight, then he won't convoke. Oh no. Well, maybe I can... Alright, no whammies, second attack. Yeah, buddy. Took him out before he could convoke. Yeah, the Thunder Hulks are kind of interesting because they can't do lightning when they're next to you. So you'll notice I was popping on my Arlec and just throwing stuff at them when they were farther away. I can probably just kind of man mode tank the lightning bolts with no resistance, but why take the risk of going low and then being in a bad situation after? Oh, wait a minute. I should be throwing at the Convoker. Curious how duel works. Success chance and if it's smite targeted. Well, I'm sure the success chance is exactly as seen depending on your invocations. Down to 32% now at skill 7.5. And I can't imagine it's not smite targeted, my god. If it wasn't smite targeted, then it would be a big old piece of shit even more than it already is. Let's duel TRJ. That's not a duel though, he'll summon allies. Unless somehow Oka turns off the ability to summon allies during the duel, that'd be pretty sick. That would actually be a cool mechanic. Okay, this is pretty hardcore. They can actually bolt through each other. I'm drinking whiskey, playing risky here. There we go. What's the range of the ability? Let's go to describe dual. It looks like full screen. Throwing at 1.5 with the large rock. What about javelins? 0.9. So we're above speed. We're faster than speed 1 with the javelin. So that's very good. Oh, no problem. No, I'm curious too. So I'll check the smite targeting here in a minute. Oh, I should not have O-tabbed here. That was really bad. I could have gotten paralyzed by the jellyfish. You know what? I never added jellyfish to my RC. That's why that happened. Tempted to. Well, formless jellyfish is a new monster. No, not jelly. It just has AF para, that's all. Very weak monster that's designed for you to tab into it and lose, basically. Okay, my implications is 10 now. Should we bother getting stealth? I feel like I might as well burn through this manual a little bit. $27 stealth. Oh yes, of course. On a troll? Hell yes. I don't know, man. Can't hurt to not be noticed every once in a while. In my GDA. Oh wait, my manuals don't take up inventory slots anymore, so I really don't need to. I mean, I'll take it to 5 because it's basically free. And if that slightly increases the chance that I'll be able to walk up to things before they attack me, then fine. Interdimensional caravan. Well, we have 1,500 gold, so that's not too bad. I guess we'll do Revelation and would have preferred a Wizlab, but am I blind? What's happening? Oh, it's to my right and then down. Time to go. Okay, Robe of MR. Might have been cool earlier. A bunch of books that I do not care about. Fugue of the Fallen. You know what? That looks like Song of Slaying, but necromancy themed. Frost, Ice. I'm not really looking for anything in particular. Maybe just basic bitch blink, if that even exists still. Heavily runed fire dragon scales. I don't think we're going to be buying that. We can't afford it. Not that we would really want it. I'm going to buy the heal wounds for sure. This looks like it's probably going to be like a consumable type of... Yeah, we'll get all this. Ooh, and mutation. We don't want to forget the mutation. Yeah, we're just buying consumables today. Okay, that's good. I am not getting attraction, by the way. Oh, I am still Will/Tude. Technically, I can be mass confused right now. I didn't rest between this exciting adventure and the last one. We're trying to kill the brain. And then my magic resist doesn't matter. Okay. Why don't we heroism? This is looking dirty enough that I don't know, golden dragons are... When I see a golden dragon in vaults, I typically get a little concerned. Alright, so this is heroism skill we're looking at right now, so it's 5 more than it otherwise would be, but... I don't know, man. I think we actually take evocations to 5, despite... Yeah, hey, Juneguts, you're right there with me on the Evo train. I remember back in the day I used to train Evo to crazy levels. Like almost all my street games would end up with like Evo 27 by the end. I still think evocations are really good. It's just kind of hard to aim for that on a damn troll, you know. On a damn dirty troll. No, Evo 15 is like there's like no reason not to do it basically on most characters. So definitely it is the way. Evocations are really, 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 really strong. I think they even brought back Sack of Spiders, so there's that. Goodbye, Shadow Dragon. Hey, there you go. That was such a dumb removal. It was amazing to me that they removed it. It's like, you're going to take away the most interesting counterplay to silence in the entire game. Like, really? Like, why? Who asked for this? Okay, we're going to aim for that Convoker by any means necessary. Saw someone having fun once, had to put a stop to it. Sometimes I'm convinced that they watch my streams and they're like, oh, he likes it. Get that shit out of the game. Remove. I mean, I'm joking, but at the same time, I don't know. Alright, we'll take armor to 15. I'm really reticent to take evocations higher than 5 or maybe 10 because my aptitude is just really bad. Actually, we will take evo to 6 and then we'll look at what the target, what the cost is. Okay. Getting a little trolled here. I may be strong, but probably not getting ganged down by 5 deep trolls strong, not just yet. Alright, bucko, can I get a hit on you? Could you cut this bullshit out for me? Thank you. The Actar Captain shares a color scheme with zombies now, and I don't like that. At a glance, it kind of looks like one of the old zombies. Alright, Vaults 4, Vaults 5 is next. Do we want to actually go down? I'm thinking no. I would really like to have more resistances. I'd like to have resist negative all the time. I'd like to have our core all the time. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, it's true, but... Oh boy, we'll turn ourselves into a serpent and have resist negative all the time. What an exciting time. Golden Eye percentage is probably still 1%, but it might be 0. I'm not sure if I trust that 0. Okay, it's 0. Yeah, I mean that's where we'll probably end up being. Is slime. I'm just man, I'm not sure about slime these days, man. We do have the hot swappable R core though, so that's kind of sick. I mean, slime is the obvious choice. It's just that slime 5 is like a it's a grand old time, let me put it that way. In fact, the entire climb is an interesting experience. Because you can get shoved off staircases by the rock slimes and things like that. Orb of Guile and Vul meme did good things to Learny. That's true. We could try the same meme on you know, on TRJ. I think I'm just a little more reticent to use it on a floor that can kill me so easily, but we are in fact still holding the Orb of Guile. Not using it, but we have it in the inventory, so. Alright, we can melee rock slimes pretty easily, but just remember they can shove my ass off staircases, so. Not wearing a shield seems ridiculous. Well, that's because it is ridiculous. Probably should have hot swapped my R core. In fact, why don't we go ahead and do that? Resist corrosion. What am I doing? It's javelins, obviously. Melee. No, that's too much corrode. Fuck. Whoa! Up we go. Damn dispersal trap really dabbed on me there. I was not respecting it as much as I should have. Yep, he actually pushed me. If you look at rock slime, not only, oh boy, test spawner. If you look at rock slime, not only can he shove you, he actually moves faster than you, so he can move and shove in the same turn if you get somewhat unlucky. Uh-oh, time to swap on magic resist. I can't leave this. Can't leave that crowd of eyes. Air Lab, WizLab. It's they're also known as Masigno. Yeah, you gotta respect the danger of dispersal traps. I'm gonna get evocations up a little bit higher. Nothing quivered. What do you mean nothing quivered? Oh, I ran out of rocks. Okay. Can I have my rocks quivered again, please? Thank you. Alright, I do want to have magic resist on over our core most of the time. Just as a general rule. We're on slime 4. I'm going to try to clear slime 4. Or at least I'm going to try to clear it to such a degree that I have 2 staircases and not just the one. But it turns out, nope! Not going to happen. Hey, I'll take a slime elevator. Hell yeah. I can tab these gentlemen, that's fine. Okay, let's pull him up. I actually don't mind fighting him by himself. But you know what I do mind fighting? I mind going down and getting ganged down by all this crap. See, I picture my troll as having like a sack around his back. Like just a really shitty burlap sack. Just filled to the brim with boulders that are like trying to rip out the bottom. Yeah, this isn't great. I don't want to be paralyzed, please. My God. I didn't know those things spawned in slime, by the way. That's really something. Okay. Out of line of sight long enough to use heroism. I was kind of hoping that would happen in the first turn, but I didn't remember to do the exclusion to check. I guess we want to throw javelins so we get as many shots as possible. No! Okay, shout out, this is not that bad. Vuln fire is pretty bad. Yeah, Vuln fire is pretty bad. We got 7 mute. Is that worth quaffing to take it off? Probably not. It is a bit of a Gamba stream, it seems like. Oh no! I gotta have magic resist on at the same time. We definitely want heroism. We definitely actually, this is stupid enough that we want finesse as well. Probably should have killed the acid jelly first so I don't get corroded. Okay, he's down. That means I can swap my evasion back on. Yeah, they come in packs. I'm real sad about that mutation, by the way. I am not happy about that. Whoa, whoa! Did I just see my body deforms? Hold on a second. Was there a shining eye that I didn't see? Let me... Evocations to 8. Oh yeah, there's a shining eye that just appeared over there. Your body twists and deforms. I thought my body was already twisted and deformed. Okay. It might be a mutation potion. I don't think you guys understand exactly how much I value not having like minus scrolls or berserkitis or teleportitis. Is minus scrolls a mutation now? Can you get double deformed? I don't know. I think this might be a bug because I'm pretty sure that trolls already have armor. Armor fits poorly. And I don't think my AC... I guess my AC did go down, so never mind. Something like that. It's no good, I'll tell you that. Whatever it is. Oh my God. Okay, we got him. Likes mutation. Yeah, it's called a Jivia Worshipper. Okay, I may suck down some mutation potions after we're done with slime. Because then I'm not super duper likely to run into a ton of mutations, unless I do extended. Okay, now for the fun part of doing slime. I guess I'll put on our core and magic resist at the same time and just forget the evasion. Pull this up. My defenses are kind of shit now. Something to keep in mind. I mean, I still have the shield. Can't complain too much with the shield, right? Oh, no, 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 no. Heroism again. I'm going to be drinking mutation anyway, so let's not even fucking bother. With finesse. There we go. You know what? I can melee this guy. It's fine. Is there a next game or is it subject to payment? Of course it's subject to payment. Oh, sorry, you asked me what the next game was. I apologize. I was going to answer that and then I got distracted. I don't really decide in advance, for one. Especially now that I only play street games if people pay for them. With that said, I mean, I'm open to suggestions from the purchaser or purchasers. It was technically supposed to be a crowdfunded thing. Typically, I would have assumed that it typically wouldn't be just one dude paying for the whole thing, but as it's turned out, it's kind of mostly been that way, one person at a time. But I mean, the way it's set up on my site, you could contribute to it. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I decide before the run, like right before that run. But no, there's no runs planned right now. See, this is what we want. We want a shining eye behind an enemy, right? So I can throw javelins and not risk getting mutated. How about that? You could purchase it with channel points. Yeah, that was back when mainline was. That was before they added attacks of opportunity. So yeah, I currently have them set. I've been slowly raising the price to discourage people from buying mainline runs. It's currently set to $200, which may seem like a lot. But bear in mind that like your average run of DCSS for me takes like a minimum of 8 hours. So we're already starting to approach sweatshop wages if I go higher than that. So I mean, this is not your average like, oh, you get one stream. Like, depending on how long it takes to do things, and obviously on a troll you're gonna have some slightly faster play probably. But on like a caster, I think. My God, what is the longest game I've ever played? It had to have been like at least 30 hours. If you're doing an extended game, especially, like think about it. What is 30 divided by, what is 200 divided by 30? What's the payment per hour there? Best I can do is 350. Well, what you could do is you could add 350 to the, I mean, think of it more like a meter that gets you there. Yeah, no, I guess I play slow. I don't know. Maybe that's why I win so hard. I take a long time to decide how to do things. But yeah, 30 hours easily for a 15-room game. Yeah, no question. But no, you could put the 350 toward the next run if you wanted to. $6.66 an hour. Yeah, like in Bidenomics, that's like a tenth of a coffee. Am I right? The Meteorin was 25 hours. Was that even a 15 rune? I don't remember. Grind. Oh yeah, I did grind pan. You're right. I felt like I had to. I was having a miserable time. I remember Sappher showed up and was like, "Why are you having trouble?" And he's the dude who's like, he's really good at turn count running. So for him, a Meteorin is probably like paradise, you know. It's like a normal turn count run, except better. But I don't play turn count style ever, so I mean, it's like it was very difficult for me. It was the opposite. None of the tricks that I usually use to do win rate were really applicable. Or not none of them, but a lot of them. It was miserable to watch. Oh, really? Well, I don't know. It depends. Some people, I think that for some people that was like the best run they ever saw of my games. Because I was having so much trouble. Yeah, there you go. Like, I know that June feels that way, and I know that my friend Rock feels that way. He always wants to see me get challenged, which you really don't get to see a lot, like an actual risk of me losing a run. Now, with the advent of attacks of opportunity, I do believe it's a lot more likely. The Neo Hell that was the most terrible. What was the character where I almost died in Gehenna because I underestimated not being able to use scrolls? I remember I was trying to do Zen. Was that the Meteoran? I definitely had some trouble there. Alright, here's TRJ. Poly him into a Shard Shrike, a Juggernaut, or a Sphinx. Maybe it's like poly and then go upstairs. Well, here's the thing. When you poly him, he poops out a ton of allies. That's something to keep in mind. But it's the last time he'll poop out allies. If he becomes a Juggernaut, that's poly then immediately do. I think it's more like poly and then go upstairs, probably. He's too fast. Okay, hopefully he doesn't just immediately show up next to us, yeah. You know what? I absolutely should be throwing my javelins at this brain. I always underestimate brains, but the fact is they've got... Look what they got. They got that shadow creatures, man. So you do have to be careful. They could summon any stupid bullshit that happens to be in this branch, including the jellies. Oh, man. Well, this is... Wait a minute. This is the old school. This is the real... This is real Slime 5. We've got actual Slime 5 right now. So we can do the trick, right? Or can we not? No, he's immune to nets now, so... You're on the same train of thought as me, Gridgem. I was like, is that... Yeah, so we're not allowed... We're doubly screwed here because we no longer have nets... And we're denied summon, so we can't surround him. Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can... It's a bad idea. I mean, I would still be able to, you know, block myself from having to fight too many guys at the same time, but there's nothing stopping him from just fleeing away, you know. So that's... I'm going to call that a non-starter. I feel like the actual way to beat him is going to be from a staircase... ranged, you know, finesse, might, finesse, maybe haste instead of finesse. I think haste actually makes you a little bit faster than finesse does. Yeah, hero finesse javelins. Well, hero finesse large rocks to start out the chain, then MO, then javelins, explode everything, you know. Probably drink mutation to get my RF again. I hate the fact that I'm doing this, but I'll roll the dice. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. This is exactly what I didn't want. This is what I'm telling you. This is exactly why you don't want to drink mutation for anything other than teleportitis or berserkitis, because you'll just give yourself berserkitis. Okay, I took away berserkitis. I gave myself minus scrolls. Alright, there's stat drain. Normally I wouldn't care about that. That's actually pretty bad on the troll. I've got to keep drinking. Okay, this is fine. I'll take minus potion. I can live with that. That's fine. As long as I have blink. As long as I mean, I don't like minus potion. It's really bad, but there's worse things in the world. yeah, we have a big fat stack of blink for 4 blinks, 9 tellies. I mean, on Oka, we don't have a lot of... But yeah, I mean, mutations just like... It's like they want the mutation system to be as miserable as possible. It's just bizarre. Yeah, we're not going to finesse. We're going to haste. They don't stack. Because I want all my actions to be fast, not just attacking. Yeah, muted chunks were cool. That's what made the Something Awful goons split off when they removed that. Whoa, there he is. Okay. Drink haste. Okay, A. Mutations could be such a mechanic. Well, what baffles me is they even they nuked Zen's capstone, and that was always the sort of get out of jail free card, was to go get Zen and get his capstone. But now you have to find mutation potions, you know, still. All right. We got haste. We got heroism. He's a little closer to me than I would have liked. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's hated by Zen, right? Yeah, vulnerable to silver. Might doesn't affect ranged weapons and hasn't for some time, unfortunately. So it's not worth the time. Okay. He's bailing. I screwed up, by the way. I should have had resist corrosion on. We're gonna go up. Yeah, I should have popped on resist core, or I should have just quaffed the resistance. Lucky no shove. Yeah, well, it wouldn't have killed me, but you're absolutely right. It was lucky because I would have had to have burned a blink probably to survive. Hey, Borgnor's Revivification and Death's Door. Quick, let's get that online. Profire. You know what? We're going to drop the flight. We're going to pick up the Profire, and we're going to have that for Orbs of Fire, perhaps. This is the way. Oh my god, Scarf of Resistance. You know what? Forget that. Fuck that. We're popping this guy on. How the hell am I so corroded? I definitely have resist core on. I just really got some bad luck here. Yeah, two pips all the time is pretty nice. And I don't need to have a cloak on, you know. Because I already have the GDA, right? So my AC is quite good. And yeah, it is +0. Although it's technically it's more base AC. So what that means is that my armor skill gets kind of boosted by it. But whatever. I can lose a couple points of AC. It's no big deal. The +1 pair of boots, Tima. Ring of Poison Resist. We will never need that. Ring of Mitint. That is a Synv ring. That's going to be a strictly better Synv ring. It's also going to have Int to help me with stat 0, so I'll take it with me. Arlec RF Plus. Okay. MP +9. It's kind of interesting that we're still using a damn Amulet of Guardian Spirit. That acrobat's tempting, but man, I wish that. I mean, I know beggars can't be choosers. It's nice to have the RLEC available, but I just kind of wish we had a couple more things on that, or like different things. Like instead of RF, maybe like magic resist would be cool. Then that would be a ring. I can't complain though. It's a swap, I guess. I'd like to stabilize my equipment so I don't have to do so much swapping. Right now we're in the we're in the doldrums. We're in the swap zone. All right. Arlec RN plus. See, that would have been nice. Yeah, give me that motherfucker, Mendoza. What do you pass that into my game, please? Brahms Barreling Boulder. It's like a new IPA. Doesn't that sound like the name of like a fancy ale? Brahms Barreling Boulder. It knocks things back. I think it's the replacement for Iron Shot or maybe Stone Arrow. Yeah, no, this was a $10,000 run. Could you imagine how ass hurt the devs would be if they believed that I was getting paid $10,000 per DCSS run? That was the rage would like tear a hole in the fabric of the universe, and Cthulhu and Haster would pop out and like tag team the world. Best paid streamer of all time. Man, I wish. No, that's probably Destiny. Apparently, you have to have absolutely insane political freakouts and piss off everybody to make $1 million while streaming. I mean, I will say I got paid $200 for this run, so I can't complain. I don't know. You'd think he would be sleepy after his last tweeting spree. You know what I mean? I remember I said he spent like 52 hours in a row tweeting, more or less. I don't know, man. I try not to think about the base form of politics too much in terms of like elections, because it's there is essentially nothing that an individual can do to affect that. I will bitch and moan about infrastructure, you know, like internet infrastructure, and how it's set up in such a fashion as to stop people from having free speech, because that's something you can do something about on an individual level to some degree. Like you could start doing things like embracing cryptocurrency, you know. I only piss off some people when I take Quad 9's bait. Well, see, I'm allowed to piss people off because I don't care. But somebody like Destiny has essentially sold out, you know, and I guess like that is kind of the means by which he makes his money is by pissing people off, but then also having this like weird sort of cult-like following. All right, Mendoza, it was nice having you on the stream, man. Hello, Luna. We just got our third rune. We did the Slimy Rune of Zot. We took down, we did the semi-classic TRJ kill with haste and, in this case, heroism, some javelins, and immolation scrolls. So I thought about doing the true classic TRJ kill because we did get the right layout for the melee version, but you can't net TRJ anymore, and because I'm worshipping Oka, I can't use allies to block him from running away. So we went for what used to be the plan B, which has kind of sort of become the plan A in modern crawl, I guess. Anyway, technically we should be doing Vaults 5 now. Wasn't the greatest beginner experience. Yep. I don't blame you for thinking that. That is 100% true. What's the other lich name? Is it like Demonic Lich or some shit? Infernal Lich, perhaps? What's the Red Lich? I know there's like Ancient Lich got split off into something else. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Luna. Thank you. I'm trying to remember if the other Lich has Paralyze, is what I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember for the life of me what they changed the name to. It's like Super Duper Red Lich. Unfortunately, it won't let me. Can I do a space and then can I put quotes? Of course not. What if I do itch? How about that? And then we hunt through this giant list of shit. No, what I should be doing is little clown music for this Dread Lich. Yeah, thank you. Gridgem knows what's up. Yep, he does have Paralyze. I truly need some more magic resist. I suppose that I could quaff Enlightenment. I am very glad that they added that. That was one of the best changes. Total ripoff of B-Crawl, by the way. But a good change nonetheless. Something they should have done a long time ago. Something I've been telling them to do for years and years and years. Dwarf Fortress before Steam. Well, that's a game that defeated me in terms of learning curve. I sat there and stared at it, and I was just like, oh my fucking god, I can't do this. Like, my brain just made the old Windows shutdown sound, like, do. And I just decided I couldn't do it. I mean, I could, if I had focused a little more, but Sokoban. Oh, we don't talk about my experience with Sokoban. That's a whole other thing. You know, I got a comment on that video that was like, I couldn't tell if the dude was messing with me or not. He wrote like, he really seemed earnest though. He's like, this is the best content that I've seen from you ever. This is way better than anything else that I would like to see more of it. And he, like, the way the guy had written it, it didn't actually seem like he was joking. Like, he seemed like he actually liked just me slamming my face against Sokoban, which is, you know, it's that's cool though. I mean, it's just a very different kind of thing, I guess. But maybe it was just the fact that I was being challenged. I felt really stupid though, because I know that, at least I think that's pretty simple. Well, like, those little puzzles have always. Is it hard? I mean, I'm glad to hear you say so, because I felt like a doofus trying to do it. That's been defeating me ever since Final Fantasy 1. A little puzzle on the bridge that you could activate. Yes, back in the day, I used to play mods a very, very, very long time ago. I was a kid. That's why I type so fast. That's how I earned my 180 words per minute. That's cool. All right, should we do Vaults 5? I think we can just do Vaults 5. I kind of want to pop up into Depths, but nice. What is Sokoban from? It's from NetHack, which is a the roguelike, the original. My speed varies on what the prompt is. I used to play Type Racer. I mean, there were some prompts I could get like over 200 on, you know, and there were some prompts where it would go down to like 160. I used to play sci-fi mods. SWR is what it was called, Star Wars Reality. But then there was another one that was based on that code base that was like a sci-fi type game. Fun fact. Fun fact. I actually knew. I make fun of Destiny these days. I call him Destiny, but I actually knew him as a kid, and we met on one of those. We were friends back in the day, back when we were both kids. And let me tell you, his politics have changed. He used to say a lot of racial slurs back in the day, like a lot, when he was a kid. And I honest to God, I don't think his mentality has really changed. Yeah, he probably, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think that everything he says is bullshit, basically. Like, yeah, but I don't think he's had some kind of big boy transformation, because I don't know. It's just it's very strange, because, you know, essentially he seems to take great joy when somebody on the right gets canceled or like shut down or demonetized, but Then when it happens to him, it's, oh, well, I thought you guys believed in free speech. Well, maybe we've just stopped caring after getting kicked around for 5, 10, 20 years, you know, and maybe it's just not worth protecting the speech rights of someone who would never do the same for me, you know? And it's kind of funny to watch people like him bitch and moan when they do something that's like so horrendously egregious that even they get punished by losing an account or getting banned from something or whatever, which very rarely happens unless you're on the right. Like, the left gets away with all kinds of violent ideation constantly, you know, on these platforms. For some reason it gets a pass, and it shouldn't, but it does. So you have to say something just really egregious to even get a temporary ban, as far as I can tell, if you're on the left. He looked insane on Piers Morgan. If you looked at his eyes, they were dilated as hell. Like, I don't know. It didn't, he didn't look sober. Let me put it that way. I'm not saying that he was on anything. I'm just saying he didn't look like that. He didn't look sober to me. But no, when he was a kid, he was like a shit poster. Like, we played those old text-based games. We played StarCraft 1 together, like a million 2v2s on 2v2 Bloodbath, the tiny little map. He had this thing that he would use. It was like back in the day, there was like this little program that would like crash people it would like crash the other players in StarCraft 1, because it was like, they were called trainers back in the day. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever actually talked about this on stream, but yeah, no, like, the way that he quote unquote debates is asinine. Like, he'll do a cursory reading of fucking a Wikipedia page or something, it's clear, and then he'll just talk over people, and he'll talk really fast, and he'll be really smug about everything that he says. And it's just, you can't, that's not a debate. That's just ridicule. And it's, as Saul Alinsky said, you cannot debate ridicule. That's why it's such a powerful weapon. So if your main thing is just like, I'm just aiming ridicule at you, that's all I'm doing. If you're not actually doing a good faith kind of discussion, if you're clearly just trying to get your hits in, why the fuck would anybody give you the time of day? And so basically what happens is, with him, people like Piers Morgan will bring him on if they need like a clown to represent the left on an issue. He is the clown, and it's, you know, it's just sort of funny that I just can't fathom why anybody would put himself in the position of being the clown. Like, why would you voluntarily become the clown? It's very, I don't know, I couldn't live like that. I couldn't do it. I fell for the rant. Let's haste. We're in Vaults 5, my friends. I better pay the fuck attention. Pay a good amount of attention, or else I will lose. Why don't we drink Might, by the way? We're still doing a little bit of throwing, but... Oh, hello! It's Jory High Roller. What's up, Jory High Roller? I guess we'll use Enlightenment. Okay, we're hasted, we're mighted. I love Jory High Roller, hell yeah. Should we duel? Should we duel just to see duel in action? Just to see what it does exactly? I don't know if I want to duel Jory High Roller, but we could. 60 FPS, hell yeah. I don't know if that's even... Let me take out the preserver at least before we do that. We're hasted and mighted, right? Okay, now we'll duel him. It does behoove us to duel him because we're more likely to block his bullshits. Alright, here we are. We're in single combat with Jory High Roller. He didn't get a turn on me, so that's good. Shit, sorry. It looked smite targeted to me. Jory High Roller is trying to hit me with his Sword of Electrocution. No, no! No, no! Does the game have FPS, or is it drawn only after the end of turn? You mean like, it's only... Oh, this game? No, it's only drawn after the end of a turn. The Peanut Gallery. Yeah, I like the fact that I've got an audience. okay, my HP didn't get reset, so I think I could have sat in there for a little while and healed a bit. Probably not very long. I think it forces me out. It's chat. Hell yeah. I wanted to check something, though. As I pop out, do I get attacked again? It doesn't look like I did, but I probably could have. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't, what's that old song by, I'm gonna really show my age now. You guys ever heard of the Alan Parsons Project? That wouldn't want to be like you song. That's what I think of when I think of somebody like Destiny. It's like, you've got all this fame, you've got all this money, and you've even got, like, adoring fans, which I guess that's something some people care about. Like a cult, almost, and the way that you pay for that is you've become the clown. And it's like, isn't your dignity worth more to you than money or whatever other concerns? I mean, wouldn't you rather have some kind of dignity in your life? Like, personally, I think there would be more dignity in just, like, working a 9-to-5 job, and just being like a normal dude. I think there's more honor in that. There's more nobility. And it's just weird to me that anybody would choose to give up that dignity. You can make up for dignity with ego. Well, that's the thing, is like there's a certain class of person where they take fake it till you make it to such an extreme that, you know, it's just like, you're right. They have no conception of dignity, actually. It doesn't, no, not even temporarily. I think depending on the kind of person you are, you could do that pretty much forever. I don't think there's a limit to it for some people. I think that the concept of dignity is something you almost have to have like a certain type of brain to even be able to appreciate. You know, I think that most people will go along to get along, and they will give up just about anything, and they'll go on giving up, and then they'll wake up one day and they'll realize they've given up everything that mattered to them, and there's nothing of themselves left. And maybe at that point it will be a moment of sort of a watershed moment where it's like, oh look, I've just lost my humanity. But I don't even think that really comes for most people. I don't think it shows up. I just don't think it's in them, frankly. Let's pop on Arlek. We have a lot of big boy lightning damage facing us down here. I don't want to get marked. And yes, I say that right as I get marked. Very cool. I would drink a cancellation, but guess what? We got that minus potion. Okay, let's get our Ring of Magic Resist back on. Let's go to the corner and see what all shows up. Oh, it's a lot. I'm going to fight until the mark is gone, and then probably I'm going to telly. I know that Menace is on this floor, and you can see him coming. Oh Lord, he coming. Alright. You've defeated me, game. I will drink cancellation, and I will read telly. I just don't want to fight Menace yet. Okay, we're gonna drink one more haste. We're gonna fuck you, Quicksilver Dragon. It's okay. We're gonna AA. He immediately breaths me. Fine, we're gonna finesse. You can't do that. You can't take that away from me. Don't remember who talked about this theory that everyone does what they think is the right thing, even if they did a bad thing. It's because they thought it was the right thing. I mean, sure, but I do think that some people have the capacity for like guilt or shame or even just basic like self-reflection, and most people do not. And honestly, I don't even know if it's really evolutionarily useful to have the ability to self-reflect and feel bad about something that you did. Like, it's really, really useful in a high-trust, high-cooperation sort of society where everybody is policing themselves in the same way. No, I don't even know if I believe that. I think that in the moment there are people who you've got that little voice, at least you should, in the back of your head that says what you're doing is wrong. Like, you probably knew it was wrong when you were doing it. You just had something else that was more important to you. I think there are people out there who either have that voice and ignore it, or they're just sociopathic and they don't have that voice at all, and it's just all about, their personal calculus for right and wrong is, does this benefit me? I think a lot about this kind of thing because, like, people in the modern age think that basically if you have an urge, then you have to follow through on it, and if you don't, you're denying some core part of your being. And it's like, I'll tell you something. Every time I see a tip jar, an intrusive thought goes through my head, which is I could reach my hand in that tip jar and I could take money out of it while the clerk is not looking, and probably I would get away with it. Of course, I've never done that. I've never actually followed through on that impulse. But my point is, like, just because you have, like, a weird urge, you don't have to do it. Like, there are other concerns, whether that's, oh, gee, this is not the right thing to do, or I don't want to go to prison, or, like, there are some other consequences for taking this action. And I think that everybody has just sort of infantilized themselves and, put themselves into this sort of position where it's like, oh, I have an urge, therefore I have to do it. And it's like, that's not really the case. You can have a compulsion and just not choose to follow through. And I think that's a concept that applies to a lot of things that would make people uncomfortable to apply it to, perhaps. I did swap my Arlec on, right? Yes, I did. Risky business here. I'm standing around without resist magic, which is fine for this particular set of enemies. And by the way, this is one of the things I've always really loved about DCSS, is like, you've got a board state, right? I see it kind of like a chess game almost, where it's like you've got your particular board state and it's turn-based, so you can sit there and look at it. You can see exactly what's on the board, and you see what the threats are, and you see what you need to be able to resist those threats. And so right now, this is why I really like swapping. I think the devs have this, like, hate boner for swapping, but I think swapping is great. It gets annoying after enough time, but, like, at a certain point in the game, it's like you have to make those informed decisions on what thing you want to be wearing at any given time. And right now, I'm allowed to not have magic resist because there's nothing that can really target that weakness. And where things get really interesting, and this is why DCSS, despite their best efforts, they haven't gutted the thing, all of the things that make it interesting. Trust me, they're trying. But where it really gets interesting is not just the basic, okay, I need this to defend against that and that to defend against this. Where it gets interesting is when you have things on the board that augment other things on the board. Yes, it's open source. And the fate of all open source projects really is to be taken over by dickheads. But anyway, that's a tangent. My point is, like, if you have one thing on the board that ordinarily would be harmless and another thing on the board that would ordinarily be harmless, but then you combine those two things and it's a situation, then you're getting into a depth of gameplay where it's really interesting, CDDA. Yeah, exactly. I have never met a more virulent narcissist than the people at the top of a set of virulent narcissists, I should say, than the people who run CDDA. It's unreal how much of a behavioral disorder these people clearly have. Nasty, nasty people. Anyway, that's my rant and I'm sticking to it. Soon Destiny's race, I almost said racist. Soon Destiny's rabid fan base is going to come get me now for talking bad about him. Alrighty, that's time to silence, I guess. He high rolled a crystal spear on me, and then his boy came in from behind. So that's the exact point where you gotta do the silence to save yourself. I guess I probably could have used, like, the File of Floods to silence one of them, but maybe even both if I targeted myself. I think it silences anybody who's in the water, but I didn't want to roll the dice on that working. I think there's a chance it misses, so. Rabid. That's, yeah, rabid was the word I was trying to say, and I almost said racist, which is... maybe I'm just remembering what he was like as a kid. I am essentially the one who taught him how to troll, though, so I feel bad for unleashing this this demon on the world. Compulsion thoughts. Yeah, there we go. No, we would play those we would play those Star Wars games, and what we would do together. I showed him how to do this. We would get in people's ships, right, and we would hijack them, or like we would like go in while they were on. We would pick the lock on the ship while they were parked on the planet, and we would go in and like hide. And then what I would do is I would wait for them to launch their own ship. And there was this like blaster weapon that could stun people. I would stun them as they were at the pilot seat of their ship, and then I would just like as they were stunned, I would hyperspace jump next to the sun, set course for the sun, and then just fucking take their only escape pod. And then I would like lock the ship so that they couldn't, basically they wouldn't be able to change the course. And so they would just, and it was an insta kill if you go into the sun, obviously. And that was my big move back in the day. It was, yeah, okay, this is epic. Listen, that's what I thought was funny as a kid. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. I still think it's funny today. Sorry. Manual necromancy? Oh, did I really? That actually pisses me off, and I'll tell you why. Once upon a time, that would have been like, that would have been jump-starting my journey towards Lich form, but now it affects nothing. Although we could get, you're right, BVC. Well, it was like a role-playing, you were role-playing, so I was essentially role-playing as, I always enjoyed taking on the role of the villain, And at the end of the day, the villain usually does lose eventually, and I noticed something about playing those games and kind of taking on that role was that people had a whole lot more fun dealing with me, basically, because it gave people an excuse to sort of band together and like a threat to overcome, which I guess is probably the same reason I enjoy DMing in Dungeons and Dragons, because it's like your job at that point. I was actually never out to ruin anybody's day, so to speak, although I'm sure I did, a few times. It was more like, in Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of people don't understand this, but like and especially if you've never played, but as the dungeon master, it's not really meant to be an adversarial relationship. You and your players are working together to create fun, basically. So you are supposed to challenge them, and you're actually supposed to frustrate them sometimes, because if you don't frustrate them, they won't feel so good about winning eventually, having a concrete enemy. Yeah, exactly. What was the funniest run I've ever had? Do you mean in Dungeon Crawl? What's happening here? Why can't I throw? Is this just like a graphical bug? It's a graphical bug, okay. It's like, why the fuck can't I throw? I should be heroismed, by the way. I cannot believe that this Convoker is just not dying. There we go. Okay, let's get unconstricted, please. This isn't as dangerous as it looks, but it's not ideal, basically. Okay, now it's pretty bad. Let's get out of here. Okay, down. MR+++ on that Lich. I was gonna check my loot once I was done with good old V5. Oh shit. Okay, that's fine. Hold on. This is guaranteed, I think, if I target him directly. There we go. That's a shapeshifter. Very, very cool, baby. I think it's time to rest. Alright, my boy Menace is coming. Not to be confused with the Vinga boys. Is there a hatch? Yeah, there's a hatch. Okay. This floor has got to be almost empty. I need my epic 1v1 versus Menace. What? What? Am I having a stroke? I vaguely recall being immune to Curari if you have our poise, but I guess that's wrong. Browser game where you watch a party of characters fight dungeon after dungeon. What, like a auto battler? Those are fun. My friend Wesley turned me onto those. Fun little genre. That's heroism. Not an auto battler. What you got there? 4 Acts of Disto. You just choose the initial party. So it's more of like a cinematic experience, I guess. Oh, I actually threw all of my javelins. Maybe we're taking a trip to the abyss. Ah, piss. All right. That's not Boris. Oh, that is Boris. And we're silenced, by the way. So the first thing we want to do is a haste, because I might get minus potions at some point here. Then we're going to want to do might. This isn't as bad as it looks, because all this crap needs to cast to do bad things to me. Let's get this Lich in the silence, so he can't summon a big demon on me and then take him down. Oh, I need to train things. I think we'll just take fighting to 20, yeah. We're mighted. Actually, I should heroism now that I'm out of the silence. Yeah, free silence, right? There's a crystal spear. Okay. Not so good for me. That was a big boy crystal spear. Oh boy, he's not fucking around. Well, it can do almost 150, so that's not to be. It's a 144 damage maximum, so it's not to be fiddled around with, you know. I'm gonna swing one time. It didn't work. Can he kill me? I don't think that's subject to GDR, so it is time for my own silence. I was willing to swing once because my attack speed is so unbelievably fast, but unfortunately we do have to silence. And I think we're going to drink a heal wounds as well. Let's see, I'm hasted, I'm mighted, I'm heroism. I should be okay. Just for real ultimate safety though, we're going to suck down a curing. And then we're going to fight. Yeah, 0.3 on claws feels pretty good. Alright, Boris has got to go. Maybe he'll have a talisman for me. Maybe we really will go Lich Form Troll. That'd be quite a thing, huh? Then we truly wouldn't care about minus potion, would we? Huh. I thought he was guaranteed to have Lich Form Talisman. I know that Isil is guaranteed to have the Serpent Talisman, and Roxanne is guaranteed to have Stone Form Talisman, but I thought that Boris would definitely have the Lich Form Talisman. But he did not. So that's interesting. I guess maybe they just didn't want to give everybody Lich Form. A mummy in Gehenna. Yeah. I don't think I would be Lich Formed in Gehenna. God, what a miserable... Wow. Let me tell you, I'd want to be a Gozag guy. I would 1,000%. I would want to be a Gozag guy or a Zen guy, but you can't be a Zen guy if you're a mummy, so I guess I'd want to be a Gozag guy. Mark again? This one's just a regular ass trap. Gehenna's hardcore. Gehenna almost ruined this run when I did it on that Meteoran. Mostly because I just underestimated the power of not being able to use scrolls. Brimstone Fiends are set up in such a way that, like, if you low roll enough times, you're gonna need to use certain consumables, and ideally that's a Blink Scroll. Death Talisman is guaranteed from Josephina. Is Josephina the upgraded version of Josephine? %50 chance. I think we already ran into Josephine and killed her, so we're not going to see the super duper Josephine. Which is a shame. Okay, I want those javelins. What can we drop? You know what? They ruined Wands of Disintegrate when they changed them into Wands of Mind Burst, so we're going to never pick that up again. Boom! Rune number 4, baby! Artifact Orb. Wow, how based. I'm going to take away my shield for that. What a good idea. Wand of Flame can go away as well. I love to see a Lightning Rod. One of my favorite evocables. Very simple, very accurate is the important thing. A consistent finisher for enemies, especially if you use it twice in a row. Alright, the Arbalest of the Cursing Coward, magic resist +2. Scimitar, magic resist +3. That would have been nice if it was a different item. An Orb of Poop. It's made of poop, don't use it. Very gross. That's all orbs, really. Orbs are not worth it. Okay, unless you can, like, cheese them somehow. Like, the thing I'm doing with Orb of Guile is a pretty cool trick. Special thanks to, I forget who, for pointing out the stackability with Vuln Scroll, which I never would have guessed without testing it. I just would have assumed it's the exact same effect, but apparently it's not. It's kind of interesting. Frenzy Orbs can be wild. I bet they're fun. Is that what... Is Rage technically Frenzy rather than Zerking everything? People use it in Ziggs. Yeah, I bet the Frenzy Orbs, frenzying everything on the screen, if it doesn't get affected by MR, would be really useful on Silence floors, on Lich floors. Hold on, let me drop something. We'll take a look at that orb. That was the Mian team. Yeah, the Mian team is a good player. If he streamed, I would be like, hey guys, check out his streams, but I don't think he does. Mayhem. Yeah, Mayhem, not Rage. Oh, we have Tremor Stones. Okay. Watch the VOD today, which gives me a 6th sense for scrubbing to exactly the right moment. The right moment for... Oh, you scrolled back to see who said it? You know what? We're never going to need potions of brilliance on this character, so we'll drop those. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, this just zerks the user, so it's not the same thing as the Orb of Mayhem. Yeah, cataclysmical. I agree. Something like that would really be required. Or let the player use them in the weapon slot. You know, let them use it in either the weapon or the shield slot. You know, that'd be kind of cool. So I can have a shield and an orb on, pop the orb on real quick, activate whatever cool ability it has, take it off. I mean, that kind of, and maybe you could make it to where it's recharges, like it's almost like a like an evocable, so you can't just spam it that way. I guess really that's just an evocable with extra steps though. Once you equip the Orb of Zot based. Yeah, I don't know, man. Shields are just so good that it's like you'd be out of your goddamn mind if you were trying to play for win rate and not using one, you know. It just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Alright, seems like we've gotten hardcore cucked on artifacts. You know, usually Vaults 5 has some fun in it, but we didn't really get anything. But can I complain? The answer is no. Not with the scales of the Dragon King, man. Imagine if orbs had buckler SH value. See, that kind of thing would be interesting. There you go. See, Gadriel, that is... Now you're putting me in a position where I have to consider, oh, is this a good idea? You know, and that's where you want the player to be. You want the player to be unsure of what the best path is because you've made all the different options at least somewhat similar in power level. Giving the player some shit to think about is way better than just saying, here are all these orbs that are kind of janky and stupid and not really worth using, and then here's this other option that just makes you way more defensive all the time, regardless of anything. You know, like, which are you gonna choose? It's like that meme, like, all right, son, you are a man now. Hey, it's Frankie. It's my Kenshi, my Kenshi bro. Yeah, no, shields are ideal. It is optimal. There's nothing. There's really no argument to be made against it. Frankly, I'd be curious to hear one. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream, Frankie. It's nice to see you. I haven't been streaming for a good long while, so it's nice to see you. You oh wait. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use the command that I actually learned from Frankie. Okay, that's not it. I think it's / shout out. Ah, yes, there we go. He plays a lot of Kenshi. Kenshi is a fun game, and I think that the sequel is almost out. So we're gonna have a whole new era of Frankie streaming soon, I assume. Whenever that game actually, I don't know, when is the release date? Have they given one yet? I want those boats, man. Who will have the boats first? Kenshi or Vintage Story? Who's gonna have the sailing ships first? No release date yet. Okay. There's a lot of games out there that like either are in a state of semi-release, like Xenonauts 2, or just haven't been released yet, and there's not a lot of info about them, like Kenshi 2, that I'm just kind of patiently waiting for. And we'll see where it goes. Silk Song. I have not heard of that. The Vintage Story playthrough is paused. I started playing Vintage Story in real life, which is to say, I've been doing a war against some crows that are on my property. They destroyed pretty much my entire goddamn garden, and so I've been dealing with that and a few other real life things. I will be finishing the Vintage Story playthrough, and after that, I actually wanted to run this by my audience. I don't know if I've mentioned it on stream yet. I'm planning on doing this thing I'm calling Vintage Story Tribes, which is a blatant ripoff of Minecraft Civilizations. Vintage Story doesn't support quite so many players. I'm going to get like 5 to 10 people per tribe, and I'm just going to do like a Dungeon Master thing where I just watch everybody. I'm going to plop each tribe on, you know, a different island. There's going to be like 3-4 islands, 20 to 40 people, and I'm going to I'm going to basically do like a video series about it and just kind of see what happens. And it's going to be no revives, well, no free revives. If you die in the game, then you kind of get sent to this afterlife area where you'll only be able to come back if you maybe like trade a temporal gear for it or something, or your tribe does. So I kind of wanted to see, and there was going to be like a win condition that I haven't really revealed yet. So it's going to be competitive, and it's also going to be kind of like an experiment to just see how it goes. Absolutely no experience, and see what happens. Well, I've been slowly recruiting people to take part in this, and then I kind of disappeared for a while. So hopefully they don't think I'm just not going to do it. I've just been kind of busy with real life stuff, but that is a plan. I am planning on doing that, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I think if I can get it right. It's going to be my highest effort video series, I think. I might actually do some real editing for once, Serious YouTuber streamer shit. Anyway, I've been sitting here on the screen doing nothing. We have 4 runes now, and it's funny that I've been raided because I was going to stop soon, but I'll go a little longer now. We can at least do depths. Technically, we have enough to go ahead and take the Rune of Zot, or the Orb of Zot, and just win. Haven't really decided. Well, I don't have to. I don't have to go. It's just been a little while, and this is a game that I try not to marathon too much, because if I get sleepy, I will make horrible mistakes. And this is the world record win streak for this game. I've got this will be the 70th game. Hello. Asterian, you don't do anything too spooky, do you? No, we can just melee you down at this point in the game. Play this game tired. Yeah, I mean, I have played so much of it that I can autopilot my way through a certain amount of it, but it's definitely still possible for me to make mistakes. And I think that's especially true on this character, because while he may seem like he's got, big boy awesome defenses with the gold dragon armor and whatnot, Scales of the Dragon King, actually this character is in the exact kind of state where you can make a mistake and die fast, because I don't have Arlek all the time, I don't have Arcor all the time, I don't have resist negative all the time, and in fact my magic resistance is down by a pip further than I'd like it to be. So basically I'm relying on swaps for all this crap. It is from a golden dragon. In this game, if you kill a dragon, hold on. No, I don't want to trade everything. !/m dragon. There's all these different dragons, right? Some of these don't drop scales. Actually, most of them don't. But yeah, he's one of the tougher dragons, and if you kill him, there's a chance he'll drop dragon armor, and then you can enchant that up. Yeah, the dragon is made of the material. Yeah, pretty much. But in this case, this is what's called an artifact. So I just kind of found this on the ground. It's an unrand, a non-random artifact. So you can find this across different games. Typically, items are sort of randomly generated. And this randomly appeared, but it's not randomly generated. As an unrand, it'll be the same in every game where you find it. It's pretty rare. You don't usually find this. But it'll always have resist poison, RF plus, and RC plus. In fact, all gold dragon armors have that. And then this one has I say magic resistance. They changed the name to willpower a while back. It's what lets you resist what's called hexes in this game, like paralysis and petrification and things like that. But anyway, this is like a really good piece of armor, basically. Like it's a shitload of armor class. It's not doing very good things for my evasion. It's very heavy, but that's okay. We're a big fat troll, so only found this when you're playing a Naga. Well, you can wear that as a Naga. That's not a bad find. You just have less. You just get half the AC out of it. Oh yeah, well, resistances are really important in this game because, like for elemental resistances like fire and cold, that goes up to 1, 2, or 3 pips, and that first pip is crucial because that literally halves the amount of damage that you're taking from that element, and this matters a lot when you run into stuff like the Orb of Fire near the end of the game. 3d 40 damage on that bolt of fire. That's 120 max roll. And their speed 150%, which means that they can get double moves on you sometime. You know, you don't want to take 240 damage in one turn. I'm a troll. I have more HP than most characters. I only have about 240 HP. So, yeah, that's one of the toughest things in the game. I'm surrounded by things that do more damage to me than I would like. Let's hot swap our resist negative on. And kill this thing that summoned all that crap, the giant orange brain. Yeah, this is a game, and I actually really like this about this game. No matter how powerful your character is, you're really only a couple of turns away from losing the run at any given time if you start making horrible mistakes. And in a lot of games, it's not like that. You become pretty much unstoppable. Oh yeah, Frankie. That's actually called splatting. It's so common that it's got a name. Splatting is when you've got this big, powerful character at the end of the game or whatever, and then something just like high rolls you, or you make some dumb mistake or whatever, and then you lose a character where you thought you were going to win. Yeah, high rolling, that's... You have to take that into account if you want to streak wins in this game, which I guess is the reason why I'm able to do it, is because I very meticulously pay attention to the amount of damage that I can take at any given time. And it's a turn-based game, so, you know, you can sit there and stop and take a breath and kind of figure out, like, okay, what is the maximum amount of damage that I can take right now? What the fuck? That tile is new. Have I seen this tile before? Alrighty, well, he's a tiger man. We can probably tab him. Long Sword of Chaos. Actually, I should not be tabbing him. Can Chaos still petrify you? That's no good. Why don't we throw rocks, large rocks at him? Big boy rocks. Do they have RC? They do not have RC. We're gonna use Ice Blast to bypass his evasion. Alright, man. Well, I appreciate the raid, and everybody please feel free to check out Frankie. He's a very good streamer. He knows basically everything there is to know about Kenshi, so if you ever wanted to play that game at a high level, excellent dude to watch and learn from. He is hardcore. See you, man. Alright, now he's gone. Talk bad about him. No, I'm just kidding. Oh no. Oh no, I've been caught. Anyway, this type of shit is exactly why I didn't want to go into depths, by the way, until I had done vaults. For some reason, everybody other than me is just, they're just like incredibly confident about stepping into depths, but oh, hello, Nicola. Definitely swap Arlek for that. But I don't know, man, like, it escalates super duper fast, and I don't know, man. It's just like, it's just bad. Like, it's just a lot of damage can happen to you here. I think with Arlek, he can't kill me. Through a 3D 45 chain lightning, and it'll bounce a few times, but there's not a lot of things for it to bounce against, so I think in terms of like average difficulty, you're probably right. Yeah, no, actually no. You said Vaults 5 and not Vaults, so I would agree with that without any kind of reservation. I'm not even going to qualify that. I agree entirely. Yeah, Vaults 5 is a good, and I think that people make the mistake of instead they value the difficulty the same as Vaults 1 through 4, and I think that's a mistake. And my big issue with depths, more than anything else, is the fact that you can get shafted. And if you get shafted in depths, oh, they all have chaos. I guess they all have chaos weapons. You skip Vaults 5. Vaults 5, I used to never do Vaults 5. You really have to learn the tricks to make it even a little bit safe. I think I probably splatted dozens of characters in Vaults 5 before finally figuring out how to do it right. Yeah, I guess they always have chaos weapons now. That's a cruel. It's cruel Rakshasa's cruel Rakshasa's thesis over here. How much of that do I have to hum before I get demonetized or whatever? Maw Talisman. This is a really fun, cute little transformation that I won't be using because unfortunately it takes away my body armor. But I totally would have jumped at the opportunity to explore that. It gives you a kind of like Hydra style HP on kill thing, I think. Either that or it's vampirism. Normally I'd do Hell and try to grab, I would go to the vestibule just to grab the Horn of Geryon, but I can't use that because it summons allies and I'm worshipping Oka, who's a friendless, kissless virgin, I guess. I remember going from Mibby to a stealthier character and being shocked that you could clear vaults in other ways than stair dancing. Yeah, you don't see me do that a lot. You don't see me ninja runes a lot because it's inherently risky, but it's classic turn count play is the thing. And there are times that it makes sense to do it. I hate giving up on experience these days personally, but yeah, you can totally stealth the floor, and sometimes it is the thing to do. I mean, you're playing a Spriggan, you may just want to like sneak in, grab it, and get out, you know. I try to design my character so I don't have to do that. But it is kind of cool that you can create archetypes that are able to. That's what stealth is really good for, rather than stabbing. Like, ninjaing makes you feel really, really good in Dungeon Crawl when you can pull it off. The classic is ninjing the golden rune. Once you've done that, then you really feel like a pimp. Snow Grotto, thank you for the follow. As I said your name, I started to get concerned. I was like, wait a minute, is this gonna sound like a racial slur? Like, it's one of those names that looks like it's been carefully designed to get someone to say it, and then you know that. Like that one video. Yeah, they took hunger out. Nope. It really messed with the balance across many different species. Trolls being one of them. My personal favorite is Spriggans. How they used to want to train some spellcasting, or shy away from higher level spells, and now it just doesn't matter. Like, I don't like the removal of food, and I guess it's one of those changes you either hate it or you love it. I personally hate it. I think they really took a shit on a lot of systems of the game. They didn't really understand what they were doing. Seeing certain letters next to each other in a username will put any attentive streamer on edge immediately. Well, yeah. It's like, hey, I'm secretly trying to get you banned. No, I'm just cautious, though. I'm not actually saying you were trying to do that. Obviously, it's fine. Yeah, no, but that's right, Cataclysmical. You can take out the initial group in Vaults 5 without too much noise. I don't know. I've personally gotten very partial to just stair dancing the entrance really quietly. If you have enough defenses to do that, it's a lot of fun. I kind of tried to do that this time. It didn't really work out, but it's fine. Do I want to do this vault? It looks like it's not so bad. We'll immolate. Okay, so floating eyes don't exist anymore. Instead, we've got vitrifying gaze. Requires line of sight, but not line of fire. You're just here with Frankie, okay. What's up, man? I was lurking, just got back to my keyboard to fix my game. The EA pop-up came out of nowhere while I was on my couch and had to get up to Alt-Tab it out of here. What are the EA, like an ad? Like an ad for EA games? You only played past food, but it seems like it really messed with the balance of the spells in the game. It did, and there was like no plan in place to deal with that, and I'm convinced that the devs just didn't understand all of the little systems of the game that interacted with food, like god powers interacted with food, spells interacted with food, species choice interacted with all of those things, especially spellcasting, and then food at the same time. You know, spriggans, trolls, various different, you know, aspects of hunger were played with these different species. Like spriggans couldn't eat meat, and therefore couldn't butcher, and so you really had to be careful about, you know, not giving yourself hunger by casting too many spells of high level. Trolls, of course, just got hungry faster. You know, and had like kobolds had dietary restrictions and got hungry faster. I think they only ate meat, etc., etc. It was like a very deep system that mattered, and everything was hooked together, and they had no fucking plan for what to do. Like, oh, let's just take this out, and then you watch them sort of bumble for the next 2 years. Like, oh, this interacts with that. Oh, right. Like, for example, Berserk didn't used to have a piety cost. They didn't even think that they would need to add that until after they made that change. And they were like, oh, right, this is actually really unbelievably strong now. I guess we got to do something. You know, like Berserk's cost was hunger. Like Berserk was like, this is gated by how much food you have, you know. And so it was cool because in the early game, it was a very powerful ability that you didn't want to spam too much, and it was gated. I don't think I've talked about this before. This was always interesting to me, and I'm just now thinking about it really in terms of the second half of what I'm about to say. But Berserk was really interestingly balanced because in the early game it was balanced against food. You never really wanted to spam it because it could create dangerous situations, but in the early game it was mainly balanced by food. But then as you entered the mid game and the late game and had all the food you wanted, it became balanced just by sheer tactics of like, actually you shouldn't just be zerking all the time because, you know, bad things can result as you lose control of your character, you pass out, you can't quaff, can't read, etc. And so it was this sort of self-balancing system, and it was very, and I don't know how well planned this balance was, but it was interesting. And now it's just boring and homogenized like everything else. Okay, it's piety cost like every other thing, and it's just less interesting. It's less interesting. It's less soulful, and it's less mechanically deep. You know. Anyway, do we have heroism up? We don't. Glass Eye, a 49 HP. That is more HP than Floating Eyes used to have. Let's just see if we can't go ahead and javelin this fella before I get vitrified. That'll double any damage I take. It's not paralyzed though, so that's nice. I actually messed up there. I should have javelined through, yeah, like this, because that deep troll earth mage is nearly dead and he's immolated. So check this out. Kaboom! Not the biggest kaboom. Actually, I was expecting more things to die, but that's okay. Play an old version to see how you feel about it. 0.23 is probably, if you held a gun to my head and you forced me to answer what's my favorite version, I'd probably go with 0.23. Although the rot had already set in. I think BVC was in that version. So you're gonna have to deal with the really horrendously overpowered. It was an even more overpowered version of PVC, but 0.23 has a lot of the classic stuff that has since gotten taken away, and there's no attacks of opportunity. I think if you were gonna say what's the best version of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, it would have to have food, and it would have to not have attacks of opportunity. Those are the two things that are the biggest nails in the coffin of this game. Especially AOOs. Like AOOs are just a horrendously bad decision that nobody likes. But yeah, no, you could straight up just auto explore. You could have your RC set up that like you could auto explore and the food would take care of itself for the most part, you know. It really wasn't, food didn't matter past a certain point. You know, there was a time when the corn guys and the corn-shaped enemies in Zot would actually drain your hunger, you know. Yeah, no problem. Let me know how you like it. Problem is, you know, you're going to be used to certain quality of life changes. Like for example, I don't think 0.23 had libraries, but that also means you get to burn books as Trog. So had an RC setting to over butcher, even when you were full, and it was great. Gourmands, you were stuffed all the time. Hell yeah. Just play a kobold so you can always be a gourmand. Yo, there's the big explosion. Okay. Yeah, that's the MO. It was a stealth Gozag buff. Yeah, and let me tell you something. As an avid Gozag enjoyer, let me tell you, Gozag didn't need a buff. He's overpowered as hell. He's really strong. I think this is the comical thing. I think their big idea on balancing that was, oh well, we'll make it so. God, what did they do? They took away the free potion petition. That's what they did. That was their big idea for balancing it. It does have auto explore, auto fire, and auto attack. Those are things. Okay, terrific. Look at the casual depths vault filtering me. Like all that effort to take down a single depths vault. Yeah, macros are always pretty solid. Oh, Dragon Blood Talisman. If we wanted to be the dragon, we could become a dragon. Pillar dancing macro. Hey, I remember that. I remember testing that, and I don't know if it was just not well designed yet, or maybe I had did something wrong, but it definitely failed me, and did something weird, and I ended up losing a character to that. Probably used the wrong one. Probably, yeah. What are we training? We're training fighting. We're at a nice even number. I wonder, God, that cost is so high. -2 aptitude, 34.6 cost right now. Just burning experience. You know what? I'm actually going to take invocations up. I want to get finesse to 0% fail rate. I got that Rygar music stuck in my head, by the way. Sagila's Cave. Normally I wouldn't tab Chaos guys like this, because technically they can paralyze you, but there's nothing here that can really ruin my day. Although, you know what? We should do this in a hallway. What just happened? I thought I saw something makes me feel more dopey, but apparently not. I have no exclusion set up because I don't like being interrupted. I like being interrupted. It's how I've managed to streak for so long. My RC is a finely tuned engine to keep me from dying. For example, the change that I always recommend to people if they really want to play for win rate is make your auto fight stop like 90 so that you don't tab too much. That's the real meme. Okay, I do have See Invisible still. Oh, it's just an unseen horror. That's literally all it is. Okay. I was like, it's bullshit. I can't tab below 50% HP. Why would you want to? You madman. No, I remember. I remember. Every time when you first start, you're like, you're just like, oh, I just want to go. I probably shouldn't have taken that tally. I bet it could have dumped me into that vault. I don't know. I'm tabbing depths right now. Alright, finesse is still 1%. Take invocations to 12. We'll just keep leapfrogging it up by 1. Surely I'll get to 0% by 15. Is that worth a digging wand? I'm gonna go with no, but whatever. Okay, terrific. There is nothing in here that I care about. I guess there is like an artifact glove that would be pretty cool if I wasn't a troll, but otherwise, like, my god, look at this. Look at how much I don't want to be in this vault. What do you guys think? Should I do extended on this? Streak stuff and speedrun stuff. Ouch! That's an orb of destruction. That's big boy damage. No. This isn't over yet, he says. You know what? Why not? I think that Boris should drop a different a different lich form talisman every time you kill him. And it should be like a chance of an artifact each time. Why not? That's fun. Extended sucks. Well, I don't know if the guy who paid for this would even care about seeing extended on it. I think his intent was to create a challenging run, and then the game decided to, I mean, first of all, like, your early game as a troll is going to be pretty strong to begin with, but, like, usually you have that really awkward mid-game, Yep, no, we're not doing it anymore. Oh my god. Okay, let's sit back for a second and think about this. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I tellied on... first of all, what the fuck is happening? Depth's 4, and yet there's the entrance to Zod. I guess it's 4 floors now. I must have forgotten. I wouldn't have tellied if I had known that. Well, it's not dual telly. It's, we have to actually win the duel first. We definitely can't die in one turn. Well, we can, actually. 9% dual fail. Yeah, no, I hear what you mean. Yeah, that's probably good. We have heal wounds. This is actually really quite bad, isn't it? Blink doesn't save us here. It's probably dual. Give me a second to think. Purple Draconian is no joke. Like, what might get dispelled? What do? You can't dispel dual. Oh, you mean the telly? Yeah. Well, I would kill the Draconian first and then read the telly. Actually, what I would probably do is I would kill the Draconian, read telly, and then drink ambrosia. But it's like, the problem is, if we duel, even if we win the duel, well, here's the problem. Even if the duel takes effect, we still got up to like 60 damage by this dude. Well, 50, 57. No, I think that was a theory we had. I don't think that actually happens. I think what they were trying to say was that the duel, you can't just like sit around forever after the duel's over. He'll force you out of the arena. What a tense moment. Time to sub. What if I just ended the stream right now? I was like, ah, fuck you guys. By the way, we found a Amulet of Reflection. It is dual. That's the move. You fail to use your ability. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say the Guardian Spirit didn't screw me, and really definitely could have. That would have been a bad. That's why I hate using Guardian Spirit. And you know, if you have to rely on your mana for a you know, for a panic button, it's really bad. Heal wounds. Okay, he hit me with the dispel. You should be catching your breath now. I wonder if that dispel should take away my corrosion, actually. Let's just keep drinking heal wounds. Okay. Yeah, the corrosion's gone. He dispelled that off of me. And he super duper low rolled, so that was nice. I almost want to just drink ambrosia and just sit here. Yeah, I'll just sit here. This is what duel's all about. Just duel a relatively weak thing. Fuck you. I mean, he's not the ideal thing to do this to, because he can dispel off my ambrosia. The new and improved sanctuary. Well, I don't know. Maybe my HP will get hard set back to... I don't think it did, though. I thought I tested this. The dragon just chose not to do it. It's lame that I failed the 9%, by the way, the first time. The dragon had, you know, every turn your enemy has a choice. Is he going to, like, try to melee you? Is he going to use one of his abilities? He chose to try to melee me, which meant that he walks towards me. Which I think is actually more likely. What's heroism? So melee him down. Okay, we're going to drink haste. Yeah, with no Aralek, we had to duel. There was no good answer other than that. I mean, I could have used resistance, but it could have gotten blasted right off of me. Like, duel was the thing that was most likely to get me out of the situation. We could have done the classic and just, like, haste and then suck down heal wounds and try to survive that way. Or, like, maybe like haste, ambrosia, resistance, heal wounds, whatever, you know, that was kind of the other possible plan. Maybe blink into the corner first actually would have been the move. It probably would have been blink into the corner, fog, ambrosia, or like, it just kind of depends if I wanted to haste first or not, basically. Blinking into the corner was a risky play because he could have high rolled me. Well, blinking into the corner would have saved me from all damage except for the breath. I had enough HP to survive at least one of those. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that would have been a better play than duel. I think duel was the better of the two options, but that's what I would have done if I didn't have duel. All right, we have heroism, we have haste up. We're just gonna suck down some curings. Stream delay. If not, I would have mentioned the Shrikes. No, I knew the Shrikes were a bad idea. I just was playing too fast. Okay, Telly. We didn't like take damage, so that's cool. Okay, terrific. Yeah, we keep HP, so that trick works. That makes duel actually incredibly powerful. Although the aesthetics of that are really interesting and goofy, because it's like, instead of, you know, the intended use is like, oh, I'm calling you out, like I'm pointing at you, hardcore boss dude, 1v1 me, pussy, right now. And that's kind of the intended use of it. But in reality, the best thing you do is you find the smallest, puniest little pussy guy that you can find, and you point at him, and you call him out. and and then you hide in the shed and you let that guy like slap you around while you suck down, purple potions that make you a little bit confused and heal real fast. Oka, give me a shed to hide in. I mean, you don't want to do it proactively because of piety cost. Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, I'm amazed at how little piety it seems to cost. I'd have to look it up, but it doesn't seem like it hit me that hard. I don't think I was maxed out on pips to begin with, so... Alrighty. Dude, it's been a long time since I played a game where I was at this point in the game and I didn't have my resistances all squared away. Oh, by the way, we're taking invocations to straight up 15 because now I care about having dual minimized. But anyway, it's been a while since I've had to swap quite so hard. Wearing reflection now, by the way. And so the thing about that is, like, I can't complain because I do. I have RF, I have RLEC. I guess I could just wear that all the time and get rid of the evasion. My point is that, like, if I forget to swap, you can just take so much damage if you're not properly set up. Again, I can't complain. We have just very powerful situation here in terms of our other stuff, but I'd rather not use the EV ring. I forget the numbers. Cataclysmical. How does that compare? What's the number for Armageddon, the Kazlal capstone? I don't really care about having 3 pips of RF as much as I care about having defense. Like, going from 6 EV to 11 EV is pretty hardcore. About the same. Oh, I stand corrected then. Okay. Man, these guys are not, they're not screwing around, are they? I'm gonna use Tremor Stones a little bit. Okay, fine. I am going to use File of Floods then. I'm glad there was no, there was nothing around here to target my MR. That let me swap off the MR ring. Probably should pop on our core for this, but... Oh! Zetahua! Hawktua! Hawktua the Ancient. Alright, 1% para chance. Uh-oh. Heroism again. How much HP you got? 235. Big boy AC, not that much EV. You can still paralyze me. Yeah, because damn. I shouldn't be taking this risk, should I? Well, thankfully, there's an MR thing now, so... What did he do to buff Hawktua? I think the biggest indictment of America is the fact that you can get famous and rich for making a body sort of sex joke while being an attractive young woman. Like, that's all it takes. That's all it takes to be the main person being discussed in the media for weeks at a time. It like feels like this weird astroturfed thing almost. He gave RF minus and can cast Firestorm. So he turned Zetahua into into Serevov is what you're saying. That's right. Tabbing caustic strikes. I gotta tell you, I've always respected BHOth's willingness to just go hard in the paint in terms of difficulty in B-Crawl, because he does it in a way that actually feels fair. Because, I mean, sure, that's an incredibly powerful enemy, but when are you running into Zetahua? You're running into Zetahua in the mid-game, at the earliest, probably more like the late game, or like the between the mid and the late game. So it's at a point where you are strong enough to deal, basically. I'm fine with that, you know. Usually in lower depths or Zot. Yeah, I mean, that's far enough, man. Like, you should be super duper ready to rock and roll at that point against all kinds of threats. I mean, if you look at my consumables here, I mean, we have a lot of crap, even though I've made some mistakes. A lot of scrolls as well. This minus potions might invalidate some of that, though. I don't know. This has been a 3.5-hour stream. I'm a little bit tired. I think probably I should stop, even if I'm not doing extended. I don't know. I guess we could push on. I guess if I'm gonna win, I should just do it. I think if I my stopping point, well, kind of. If I do stop right now, and then I decide to just finish the game, it's like I just have Zot in the orb run. It's gonna be like a 20-minute stream. It's a weird character. It's like so strong in some ways, but the fact that I'm still sitting and swapping all this stuff for individual resistances is somewhat slightly painful. It's gonna make Zot awkward. It almost makes me want to go do Crypt real quick. So I'll probably at a minimum do that, because I might find some good rings there. Maybe a ring or an amulet that kind of solves all my problems. That would be nice. Maybe I'll look for artifacts. Have I missed anything? Need that artifact that artifact Lich talisman, so I can be sad that I have no shapeshifting training. Yeah, I don't know. I think probably we just go into Crypt. Look around for something decent. Like, people underestimate the Zot Draconians. Like, over the versions, they've just become really hardcore compared to how they used to be. Especially the shifters that can deposition you so easily. I mean, it gets pretty bad pretty fast. You know, gotta be careful. But if I could find like Aralek and resist negative on the same ring, or like magic resist and one of those on the same ring, then we'd really be in business. If I could get 3 more levels as well, that would help. I think maybe my magic resist. Yeah, Hat of the Alchemist. Just give me that's shooting for the moon. That's the Bitcoin moonshot right there. Like, you that would be the magic item that solves everything, but I mean, we can't. I don't even want to speak that into existence, because I feel like the game will slap me down for being too greedy if I do. But yeah, obviously that would be ideal. That would be the move, basically. Anyway, I still can't complain too much. Like, our magic resistance situation is pretty good, and our resistance situation is perfectly adequate if we swap, but the problem with Draconians is, like, you kind of need everything at the same time. It's sort of, you know, an omni-resistance situation, like Elf on steroids, basically. So it's not a situation where you want to be swapping a bunch. Can we do it? Absolutely. Absolutely, we could. But do I want to if I can avoid it? No, not really. So I'm thinking we'll go to Crypt, see what we find there. I think probably I will stop right now because I'm sleepy. I'm going to start making mistakes, but God, what are we even training? Studying 2 skills? Oh, that's their new, that's what they call it when you have manuals, I guess. Anyway, yeah, we'll do Crypt. We'll see what we find there. Maybe I will do Extended. Maybe not. I mean, we'll still get like three solid sessions out of it, even if I don't do Extended. So already in depths and 2 streams, pretty good. This, well, yeah. I mean, you're gonna have a fast game as a troll, at least a fast early game. But I think the big thing was just finding that armor really early. You know, that was some really good stroke of luck. And it lets you tab through situations that otherwise you really wouldn't be able to tab through. Like, for example, there were huge chunks of I think did I have it as early as Lair? It was really early, and so I think it was like midway through Lair when I got enough Oka. I didn't actually have Dragon King armor. I had the Oka version that he gave me. I had the +9 GDA from Oka, and then I got that, I think it was like Lair 4 or something, and suddenly I was able to sit there and tab through Yak packs, which is like a basic set of enemies, but on your average troll, you're going to be a glass cannon, you know, where it's like you can't just tab into a group of yaks, even though they're easy to kill. They'll take down your character just as fast because you don't got any defenses, you know. So it's kind of like I was just yeah, you're right. It is kind of nice to be able to move fast sometimes. The last thing I want is for I don't because I've raised the price on these runs so much. I don't want the people who are putting money into it to feel like they're not getting their money's worth. Basically, like that actually is important to me, and that's the reason why I'll never be a super duper famous streamer, because I'm not willing to grift. So, hey Gary Burton, I am actually about to stop the stream, but I've said some nice things about you today. So we were talking about your changes to Zatahua. Apparently, you turned it into a mini Dragon Serabov. I was talking about how I think that's a perfectly legitimate thing to do, because Zatahua shows up late enough in the game that you should have the consumables required to deal with or escape a situation like that. So I thought that was cool. It's one of the things I really like about B-Crawl is like you're not afraid to make things challenging in a way that doesn't feel unfair, which is very hard to do. I think it's almost impossible to do actually in DCSS. Especially as you get into the late game, because the character just has so much shit to deal with almost any situation. I think the urge for someone who's not very thoughtful is to just add more RNG to the game. And I've always appreciated some of the stuff that you've done where it's clear that you actually put some brain power into, like, oh, how does this affect the player? How could the player counterplay against this? What resources does the player have to deal with this situation, you know? How does this interact with other enemies that are around it? You know, and it's like a throwback, like old school DCSS development type stuff, you know, from before everybody started taking stupid pills. It was what made this game good in the first place. So, you know, when the streak finally ends, I will never play mainline again, and I will exclusively play P-Crawl. But anyway. Like I was saying, very tired, don't want to go forward and make big mistakes, so we're going to have at least one more session, to be determined whether we're going to do extended or not. I do hope you guys enjoyed the stream, but until next time, I am signing out. Formerly Malcolm Rose, now I am Dusty Ridgeman. I changed my name because I like to write, read my books and you can be my friend. They're free on my site, but I'd like some cash if you'd like to be generous. Cha-ching. Finding your way to my heart can be done, but it's my wallet that you have to touch. Dusty Ridgeman.